Hello? This is Rose Nyland. What?
That was
I'm one of the winners of the Publishers Clearinghouse? Ed McMahon wants to see me right away.
I have to apologize. I thought this was the Joe Franklin studio. I'll tell you why I'm here. I happen to be in town over doing some stuff for the NBC affiliate.
That's right.
And, Ed McMahon, our good friend, could not be here. Yeah. But it seems, David, that you are the $1 million winner.
Oh, my God! I've won $1 million.
Shout out to my people. This is Ed McMahon, rolling slow through the suburbs in an unmarked van. I ran the strip in the 80s, brought big fat checks to the ladies. When I showed up at their door, they would start screaming like crazy. Raked it in hand over fist, was on the VIP list. I was a verbal gunslinger, and my shots never missed. But now the bills have come due, and my credit score's whacked. So I'm hitting up the winners to get my checks back. Hi, Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon. Remember I gave you that big check? I'd like to have that check back. I'm having some stuff would help a lot. Just a little bit.
Because, and I knew, the difference in the situation was I knew you were making bank on those shirts. I knew you were right.
I did okay.
Yeah, you look like the Monopoly guy. You're driving from town to town in a black top hat and a monocle.
I remember they started bootlegging them just to quickly talk about me for a second.
I'll never join you. If you only knew the power of the dark side. When I first saw the dialogue that said, Luke, I am your father, I said to myself, he's lying. I wonder how they're going to play that liar. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father.
Say what?
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Luke, I am your father.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baldest of them all?
A red door and I want to paint it black. It's the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together cry.
All right, welcome back to Dose of Reality. I'm here with Karen B tonight. Karen, how you doing? You muted.
Hit the wrong button. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I just woke up from a nap. I've been really tired. So I know people already heard you addressed the Flattoberfest the other night. I'm sure some people might want to call in tonight and talk about it because we do have a lot of people that, don't watch every show from all of us. So all I got to say is I've been really wiped out this week, and I know you have too because I just asked you before the show. So.
Yeah. I I slept a lot after everybody left, as much as I could. But yeah, it was worth it. It was a great time.
Bob and Kenny left now too. You by yourself?
Oh yeah, everything's back to normal. Back to normal at Karen Land again. It's quiet.
Dude, my fucking legs were killing me. Like, they're still hurt right now. They're still sore. And I didn't even do nothing. I mean, I just stood around like anybody else. But that was a long day that day.
It was a long day. I think it was, Maybe I think it might have been a little bit too long. It was a long day, but I don't know. It was fun though. I might have been a little ambitious with that schedule, but
Yeah, but you had a lot of people came from all around. That was awesome. I mean,
yeah, there was a lot of out-of-state license plates in the parking lot. Did you see them all? There was a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
All the surrounding states, New York, Ohio.
So you'll plan on doing another one, maybe? I mean, not necessarily next year at that time, but some other sort of event, I'm sure, at some point, right?
Well, maybe. I'd like to.
You're pretty good at it.
I think it went pretty well. It went pretty well, unless I just got lucky that time, but...
Well, like I told everybody, all the cool kids were there.
All the cool kids were there. A lot of them, some of them didn't go, though. So it was missing some of the cool kids.
Yeah,
but
some
there
of
was
the
a lot of cool kids there.
Well, since we did that, and obviously we've been doing shows together for at least like a month now or something. I don't even know how long it's been, but a lot of people that I met down there, I've seen showing up in my chat now. I mean, a lot of them told me already that they were subbed to the channel, but I hadn't really seen them in the chat. But now all sorts of people that I met in person are showing up in the chat. And I know this isn't fucking going to be news to you because you've been doing this for a long time. But like I said, I never really go to these events. This was my first one other than a small meetup at Brendan's house a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm just like closer with everybody now because I met everybody. We hung out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like that's mad cool.
Yeah, it makes it more real when you meet somebody in person, huh? It makes it more meaningful. The relationships become much more meaningful.
When was the first time you went to a big event or a big meetup?
The first time I went to a meetup was February of 2017. And that was one that Brian Mullen and his wife put on in Charlotte. So there's about 20 of us there. We met at a restaurant in Charlotte. And then after that, it was the first conference in November.
Oh, wow. So your second one was a big conference.
Yeah.
And that was 2 days or 3 days?
2 days. But I was there for 3 days because, you go the day before and there like for a couple nights.
So that must have been fucking wild.
Yeah, so usually you get there on a Wednesday night and you leave, Saturday. Yeah, it was great. That was great. It was a lot of fun, that conference, because it was the first big one and the place was really cool that it was at. It was right here in Raleigh. I didn't even have to fly. I was able to drive there.
The people, like all the pictures that people took, like outside the sign and billboard and shit. Was that the first one? That was the first one, right?
The first one had a billboard and the second one had a billboard. This one's not going to have a billboard.
It was like you just seen so many people you knew in one picture, all just outside.
Yeah.
That was cool for everybody. Just like, I don't know, that was
yeah.
cool.
The first one is where they recorded everybody in front of the billboard, and that's when we all say we're not crazy, and it was on Vice and all that stuff. Vice recorded that. That was the first one. I was in that. I was standing right behind Patricia Steer.
Yeah. Well, the media, the media hasn't been kind to Flat Earth over the years. And I did a video. The last video I did was about this Mandela Effect movie that's coming out. And I think this stuff kind of can all relate because we've seen for the last however many years everybody's been in it. We're never going to be put in a good light by the media. And that goes along with this consciousness awakening. That's one of their biggest fears. They're not going to show that. And I mean, we've dealt with this. I mean, what about like things like Behind the Curve and whatnot? We thought we were going to get a fair shake, and then look what happens.
Yeah, well, you're never going to get a fair shake from somebody who's not sympathetic to the cause. There's always going to be some sort of bias against us in there, This is why we have to do these things for ourselves and talk about ourselves and represent ourselves. Because if we don't do it, then the ballers are going to do it for us. And I don't want someone who believes in a lie representing me. So
No. And they're just always going to cut up the video and edit it against us.
exactly.
So we have to do everything live.
Mm-hmm.
I just go live. Fuck it, we're live. And we're going to open the phones in a bit, and anybody that wants to talk shit can also call in. I'll tell them to fuck off. Okay, I'm in that mood. All right, I'll start.
I don't know if there's a possible way to do this, but I have this DVD that it's called "What If the Earth Was Flat." Let me show you.
I'll put you on the big screen. Hold on, so people can see it better.
Right? What if Earth is flat? This is the documentary by Jake and them from Now You See TV. Filmed by Jake Grant. This is okay. We're supposed to try to give these away at Flattoberfest, and everything got so busy I forgot to do it, or I didn't really know how to fit it in or how to organize giving it away. But I'd like to still give it away somehow, and I don't really know how to do it. Do you have any ideas?
How many do you have?
I have 2. Oh,
just 2. I thought you had like a fucking box of them or something.
No, he gave me 2. So I was going to give away one of them and then keep one for myself.
I don't know. I mean, we could do some sort of contest and just give it away. I don't know. That's kind of easy, but I mean, we could make people do some stupid shit real quick and laugh at them for a DVD.
I don't think Mandela effect is a psyop. Pay attention. I don't think it's a psyop either.
Who said that?
Pay attention.
Oh, good. I wasn't even looking at the chat. Oh, there's this guy in the chat named Chris. Did you see him? He's like tweaking the fuck out. He's like, I just got hit by this Mandela effect. I'm going fucking crazy over here.
No.
Yeah, he's in there. Chris, you should call in a little bit. You should call in. So I did the video on the Mandela Effect movie, as most of you people seen it. I'm going to show the trailer again, and we'll break the trailer down again real quick. But some more stuff came out today. And if you guys, those of you that have been in the Mandela community a while, I'm sure you subbed to Brian McFarlane, and you probably saw his video this morning when he premiered the interview on Austin Fox 7 with the director of the movie. And then just a little while ago, I found an interview he did on a ABC affiliate, plus an article I wanted to read to you guys. And you guys will see why I was concerned. But real quick, we'll play that trailer again real quick. Give me 1 second to bring it up. It's only 2 minutes, guys. I got it right here. And then we'll play the interview. And you guys will understand what I'm saying here. Let's see. Screen share. I hate how long it takes to get into a screen share. It needs to be like one button. All right, here we go. All right, this is the trailer.
From the first to indicate the point. The point is this, that human consciousness.
Hey, Sam. Stay where we can see you.
Is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding, it's also a form of ignorance.
Don't get stuck in here, you know.
The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in.
You remember the children's book when you were growing up about the family of bears?
The Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain, S-T-E-I-N.
And because of this, it leaves out things that are terribly important.
They make them look crazy.
Things that would, if we did know them, allay our.
They're going to make him look crazy because they're going to do a thing where he's literally like. I know that some people will say, "Oh, this is how people look at us," like when Doc Wolf Den called in last night. But no, but they actually show the guy shaking and shit. They show a guy bleeding out on the floor, and then they go and show you this D-Wave computer lighting up. It's, you know,
anxieties and fears and horrors.
Have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Plenty of people don't remember Sinbad being in a genie movie or Mandela dying in the 80s.
But how do you explain to people that do?
I talked to Matt. He was worried that you're becoming fixated on this internet theory.
And if we could extend our awareness to include those things that we leave out,
there it is,
we would have a deep interior peace.
I mean, you can't have a Mandela movie without them trying to steer you away from your consciousness. I'm just saying. I'm getting mad.
We would all know the one thing that you mustn't know.
What is it you're looking for exactly? I'm looking for what's real, for the truth.
That is the lowdown on life, and then the lowdown means the real dirt on things.
Is that a dead guy?
Yeah. There's something you're going to need to understand. Ideas are dangerous things.
All right, so you see why I could be worried about this, Karen?
Yes, I do. And pay attention. I don't care if you believe me. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'll just say that. I don't care.
So do you see how this could easily be making us portrayed as crazy and in a negative light?
Yes.
And people, you know, I know a lot of people are probably triggered that I'm not going to stand behind this movie, but I'm not trashing it. Like I said, I still have to see it, okay? But like I also said, and I read the article yesterday about how it's about people that are suffering from like false memories and then misremembering, and then this guy goes on this journey or whatever. Well, right there, I mean, whatever your theory is on the Mandela effect, I want to say this again before I get into the next part. If you believe it's Satan, you believe it's God, you believe it's consciousness, CERN, AI, blah, 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 whatever you believe it is, if they're saying it's misremembering, if that's really in the plot, like the article said yesterday, that's a shot against all of you. That just means we're crazy. That's ridiculous. I can't, if that's what it is, but I don't know if that's what it is. But the hit piece I read yesterday said that. Now let's watch his interview today and see what he says. And I know this is going to trigger people because they're going to be like, oh, well, now you're just mad because it's going against your theory. And yeah, I'll admit this part, it is going against my theory, but it's going against a lot of other things than just my theory. The whole thing we're in is let me get into my screen share. Hang on. This whole thing we're in is a spiritual battle. They're trying to hide our consciousness. They're trying to hide our potential. And they always try to steer us in a direction of we're in a computer. Well, that man's, an AI or something like that to take away our soul, basically. Well, let's hear what his interview sounds like on TV today. I don't know when this exactly aired, but Brian McFarlane, if you're not subbed, please sub my friend Brian. And this video premiered on his channel today. December 6th is the release date.
Mandela effect, man obsesses over facts and events that many people remember wrongly, starting to question reality itself. And joining us now to talk about the film as it makes its world premiere in Austin later tonight. Let's just introduce the couch here. We got David Guy Levy, the writer and director, also Charlie Hoffheimer, Alexa Palladino, and Robin Lord Taylor. Thank you all so much for coming in and filling out the couch. Thank you for having us. You're kind enough to send over a screener of the film. I got to watch it last night. I loved it. And first of all, it's just such a cool concept. Once you start getting into it, you're like, man, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, there's a lot to really chew on.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this at the end of the day, people get to leave the theater and then go down their own little rabbit holes and just talk with their friends about what they think the movie means and what the greater questions it raises are.
What led you to put this together?
Well, someone came to me and just at lunch and told me about the Mandela effect itself. And that, for me, was the beginning. It was kind of like spinning a few plates at once, because then I started spinning the Mandela effect plate. And then I also started at the same time in my life learning about simulation theory, which this film definitely delves into.
Yeah, it really gets into
Yeah.
And they all laugh about it. Yeah, it really gets into that. And I know yesterday when we had a phone call, it was said that they're leaving it open to all these different theories. No, his film is clearly pushing that we're in a simulation.
Mandela effect plate. And then I also started at the same time in my life learning about simulation theory, which this film definitely delves into.
Yeah, it really gets into that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to work productively at the office today, look into that. Now you're done for the day.
You're not accomplishing anything.
Maybe don't do that, but it's fascinating.
And then I had some personal stuff in my mind where it made me question if my reality was, even what I thought it was. And so all these things were happening, and then the movie just presented itself. Yeah,
There it was.
You play a husband and wife and the brother.
Dropped on his desk.
A family that, without giving anything away, dealing with some grief as well. And so it talks about what your character starts to delve into could be passed off as just one way of processing grief, but it becomes something.
I think that's one of the really fun things about the concept is, Claire, my character.
What they're gonna do, what I think that they're gonna do, Karen, is they're gonna push the simulation theory hard, right? And he even admits that in the next clip, he really goes into it. And he tells you that all the smart people think it's a simulation. But he's going to push the simulation theory hard, but then they're still going to flip it even on those people, and they're going to make it look like he's just crazy because the loss of his daughter and he's misremembering. But if you do want to believe that he's not misremembering and take it like a cliffhanger, then they're going to lean you towards simulation theory. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just what I see.
Claire suffered a tragic loss, and this question arises: is it their inability to sort of deal with reality, or is reality itself falling apart? I think that's one of the things
reality falling apart.
Yeah, and in the end, they're gonna make you look crazy. And then in the other clip, right?
Yeah.
This is what I found right before we went live. This is the one where he really talks like, oh well, all the smart people basically think we're in a simulation. And I know those people in the Mandela community.
So, as you all know, the Austin Film
Not
Festival.
all the smart people think we're in a simulation. Some of the smart people don't think we're in a simulation.
No, well, the people that say that are referring to the people like Neil deGrasse and Brian Cox and all the high priests of science that tell you live on a globe Earth. They are all pushing the simulation theory. I've done many videos on it. This is a thing that I've seen coming, and anybody that has eyes to see it sees it coming. They've been pushing this a while because they want to take away your connection to the creator and your connection to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. But, those people are all actors. They're not really necessarily smart people.
No, they're not necessarily smart people at all, but people perceive them to be. They idol these people.
Yeah.
Fucking disgusting.
I get it. I get it. It's dumb. It's lame.
It's really, it is. So anybody out here that's going to be triggered, they're going to say, well, Brian doesn't believe simulation theory, so that's why he thinks this. He needs to be skeptical about this. No, I need to be skeptical about it because there's pieces that say the plot's about people misremembering. They make the guy look crazy. And I think that even if you do believe in the simulation theory, they're going to fucking burn you at the end of the movie. That's what I think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And no big deal. I don't have to apologize. Actually, I don't even know these fucking people. I don't know where this guy came from. I don't know who this guy is. But let's listen.
Happening right now. And the film The Mandela Effect premiered last night. So joining us this morning is writer and director David Guy Levy and actors from the film Charlie Hoffheimer and Robin Lord Taylor. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, or both, to the three of you. I've got the coffee has not kicked in yet. It's okay. So tell us a little bit about the film. What is this film about?
It's about a man who stumbles across a phenomenon called the Mandela effect, where people collectively remember history differently than it actually is. And that leads him to question his own reality and goes down a rabbit hole trying to figure out what the truth is.
What inspired you to write this film?
Well, the Mandela effect itself is this phenomenon that's very interesting. Like, a lot of people remember the Berenstain Bears, but then they come to find out it's the Berenstain Bears. Or they remember seeing Sinbad in a genie movie, and then they go to look it up and it never existed. So like, there's a lot of like things that people start to question about the reality. And then at the same time, I'm interested in the simulation theory, which is a lot of very smart people making very good points that maybe we're living in a simulation. So for me,
I mean, Karen, can you not see the angle here?
Yeah, I can see it.
So I just got to call it for what it is. Sorry. If I piss people off, whatever, this is my channel. This is how I do things. And I have no reason to trust the media. The media's never going to help out any fucking truth movement. Deal with it.
Oh, of course not. They're not going to push anything that's true.
No, never. Never, ever. I'm going to open the phones.
All righty then.
Anybody have any questions in the chat?
If anybody has pictures they took from Flattoberfest and you were there, will you please send them to me somehow, some way on Facebook Messenger or Discord if you're on Discord? Thanks. Preach.
Oh, the people have been waiting because I know some people seen it live, but that 6-hour stream, guys, that was on Zulu's computer that night. It's ready to launch. So later tonight, because I wanted to wait till I can watch it with everybody. Later tonight, I'll launch that on the Real News Online channel because that was funny.
6-hour stream, like unedited.
Yeah, when Zulu's computer was it was Zulu's computer was up on the table. Remember? Do you remember that? Like, Christian was playing the music on the TV. That computer stayed on for 6 hours. We brought it downstairs when everybody went downstairs, and it was like facing the pool table, and there was just mad funny shit going on.
Oh, okay.
Nothing's crazy in there. We've already.
You have it, but I'm saying you have the whole 6 hours just unedited.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a lot of downtime in that?
Yeah, there's some downtime, but I don't care. It's on my backup channel, whatever. There's definitely some downtime when people aren't in front of the camera, but there's some funny shit. All you hear in the pool room, everybody's like, yo, all you hear is Larry over and over saying, "Who the fuck woke me up?"
Yeah, who did wake Larry up? You're fired. You should have let that sleeping dog lie. Say about that.
Tell us how you really
say about that.
Oh my God. All right. Somebody call in 978-435-0006. Yeah, so one thing, and I mentioned this, I haven't mentioned it on a show with you yet. I know I've talked about it with you, but that was one of the cool things was like I was just there like everybody else to watch the event and hang out. But like there were a lot of people that came up to me and like really happy to see me and told me they watched like my shows and stuff. That was cool. You know what I mean? Because I never had that before.
Nice.
But then I'm like, I don't know who these people are by their face because their face isn't out there, so I like feel bad. All right, hey Chris, where's that guy Chris? We want him to call in. Maybe this is Chris.
I wonder if that's him.
Dose of reality, you're on with the champ and the new age flat earth witch lady.
All right.
Who's
I've
this?
been waiting to talk to the witch lady. This is Betty.
Hi, Betty.
Hey, I was calling the other day. I went and I watched that video on the Penguin Channel, dude.
Oh God. Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Which
you know,
video? Well, you got to specify which video because there's been about 9 in a row about me.
Well, you posted one on Facebook, and you posted a link to it. It was what was it? It was before the Flattoberfest.
So yeah, okay, probably the one that said Mandela effect debunked. I think that's the only one I really told people to go to. I don't know why.
Yeah,
what happened? So
it had the little cornucopias on there, and I kind of thought that was for me because I had remarked on your channel, hey, yeah, we all made up fucking cornucopias. Like, who even thinks of cornucopias, right?
Oh yeah, for the fruit of the loom logo. Yeah.
So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, well, maybe I'll watch this and see what's going on with that. But
yeah, what were your thoughts on the content of that video?
I honestly think that a lot of people just don't get it. Like, I mean, like when you try to tell people about the Mandela effect, their first response is, oh, well, they just changed things.
Yeah.
And so like this remark about in the chat about PSYOP, I don't think people understand that there's certain things that you can't just change. Like you always say, the Mandela burglar can't come in my house and change my stuff.
Exactly.
Well, I have lower back fusion. My L5 and my S1 are fused together, and that was in 2006. So I know what my spine used to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm having back problems again, I guarantee you that I didn't have a battle plate for a tailbone. You know, the tailbones used to look like vertebrae that were fused together. It looked like one little pointy vertebrae at the end, and then there were like 3 little sections. And now it's like a battle plate. It's a plate. It's not even a bone anymore. So how, if this is a psyop, how did the government get in my ass and change my backbone?
Exactly. The Mandela surgeon came with the Mandela burglar and the Mandela mechanic. One was outside fucking swapping logos on all your cars. One fucking put you on the knife. The other one was updating all your movies. It's a fucking package deal. I like it.
But I mean, that's generally what I got when I went and watched that video, was that most of the people that were criticizing the Mandela effect don't seem to grasp.
They don't even understand what residue is. I go over there.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, I go over there for a second because I'm at work. He's got me up on the screen clowning me, and then he's showing residue of South America the old way that he found in some board games or something, and he's trying to use that to debunk me and saying, well, if the Mandela effect's real, why wasn't all this changed? And it's like, oh my God, dude. And I'm not going to reply. I mean, they've called me and Karen. Did you see the thumbnail they made of me and Karen yesterday? That was a good one.
No. No.
Karen's face on a Bigfoot, and I was a unicorn, and I think she was sitting on my back or some shit.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome. And you know what? I think it's great that the Mandela community is so polite, because, you know, I have a friend who's like really into Bigfoot, and the same thing that's happened to the flat earth community, like the way they have like splintered off into sects, like Christianity is split into Baptists and Protestants and Catholics. It seems like that's what happens to a lot of these truth movements.
Why, Karen, is that what happens in the Bigfoot movement too? You brought up Bigfoot caller, and Karen looks into that topic. Is that what's going on?
Well, in the Bigfoot, well, they're everybody that's really into Bigfoot, they're not really into much other stuff. Well, some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. Like, they're just into Bigfoot, but they'll be, you know, voting and going to sports games and, you know, doing stuff like that. But at the same time, they're like, yeah, we go in the woods and we communicate with whole clans of forest people. You know, it's bizarre. But
I just thought it was funny when my friend said that the other day, that like a lot of his group has split into some of them believe that Sasquatch just hides really well, and some of them believe that he's a interdimensional creature, and they argue amongst themselves over the theory, when it's crazy for us to argue over any of these theories, because none of us know what's really true.
Yeah.
You know, the best we can do is put our heads together and throw out theories and, you know, come up with the most reasonable answer. But I mean, on something like Bigfoot,
hang on,
I'll say that Bigfoot
and interrogate him.
Well, Bigfoot, I think, hides really well because they're interdimensional, if you ask me.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because why have we never found one? I mean, they have to pass away. You know, I mean, if they weren't interdimensional, or they didn't disappear right when they die, if they didn't turn into dust, we'd have found something.
Oh yeah, Good Times for All is in the chat. He was just spent a week at my house, and he was in my woods. He'll tell you. We heard all kinds of stuff there.
Well, here in Oregon, I live in Oregon, and so yeah, there's a lot of people who have said that they've seen the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So,
Oregon is where these people habituate them. That's where they do it, in Oregon.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not into Bigfoot. I just kind of brought that up as like an example, but I thought it was great that Josh gave you a shout out at the Flattober.
Oh, about
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the Mandela effect. Yeah, I'm telling you, everybody's talking about it. I don't even bring it up, and everybody's bringing it up to me everywhere I go. So it's fucking, you know what I mean? It's picking up steam.
Yeah. But the one thing I wanted to mention real quick.
Hang on, I'm gonna fuck. I wish I could answer and tell this person to fuck off. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So earlier in the chat, before you got here, I had mentioned I think we should all go back and watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show again.
Why? What's
there is something going on with that movie.
In what way?
Because
programming, Mandela effects. What do you mean?
No, the Mandela effects. Like, okay, check this out. Okay, so you know that American Gothic Like she used
The
to be
picture,
looking
yeah.
forward, now she looks to the side.
Yeah, she
Okay,
doesn't
American
look straight,
Gothic
yeah.
is in the background in that movie. The
Okay.
hand of God isn't painted on the bottom of the pool in that movie in the final scene.
All right.
The
And that's
Mona
Mandela.
Lisa is in that
That's
movie.
Mandela. Yeah. Wow.
And I think that I think it's crazy that the Time Warp song is all about pretty much about jumping dimensions. Let's do the Time Warp again. If you go and you look up the lyrics for the Time Warp song, it talks about it changes time and nothing will ever be the same again. And it's there's a statement about he looked at me with the devil's eyes and time changed and nothing was ever the same again. And it indicates that you can't go back. And like the lyric or
I'm sorry,
the
Betty.
hook on that
Somebody's
song.
being extremely rude to you. Whoever's calling, stop fucking calling. One caller at a time. Thank you. Go ahead. I got your
But
back,
the hook
Betty.
in that song is it's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. Okay, so, you know, this whole movie, and then it's the guy is a transvestite, and at one point, he's singing a song, and he says, we could watch a Steve Reeves movie, which I know that's not Christopher Reeves, and this may
God.
be a stretch, but it's
Yeah.
absolutely the word Reeves.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just think people should go back and watch that movie, and then we should
So,
all put our heads together and
when-
decide if there's some kind of message for us there.
When you watched it again, and the Mandela effect and stuff you talked about, like the hand of God, that which we know has changed on the Sistine Chapel, the Mona Lisa, which we know has changed. What's the other one that you mentioned? Oh, the American Gothic picture now, how she looks to the side. In the movie, does the residue remain, or have they all shifted?
It used to be there, but now it's changed.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was a lot of people said you can still see the old Mona Lisa, and there was one that I looked at online that somebody had recorded off of the TV that I think has not shifted, but it doesn't have great, it's kind of blurry. So I'm kind of trying to compare it to the new Mona Lisa and see if it's still there. But yeah, in the beginning, people were saying that you could still see all this stuff, all the residue. And then, yeah, and Carla Red Pill had mentioned it. Carla Red Pill and I think Teresa had talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shifted. So, you know, it's kind of like a lot of residue. It's somehow,
it changes.
It's like
Yeah,
there's some AI listening to us, and then they're like, oh shit, we missed this one, you know? And then they go back and change it.
Well, look what happened with the whole Mickey Wood stuff to me. I mean, that was, you know, fucking pretty insane.
Yeah, exactly. So
it changed as I'm getting ready to read it live. I'm going to go into a screen share while we talk too, so I can show people the American Gothic and what it looks like now.
Yeah. I mean, the weirdest thing is that
See how
it
she
seems
looks to
like
the side,
it's
guys?
referring to a lot of modern time.
Yeah.
Like
I have
the
it on
guy
the
is a
screen.
transvestite. What is one of the biggest subjects on the news right now?
Well,
Is
and it's
like
not just that too. I mean,
transvestite, right?
I've done videos on, and for anybody that's looking, that's what the American Gothic looks like now. And she's looking off to the side, and she used to look straight forward. And there is a lot of residue of parodies that have been done of this. We've showed this. This is not new, but almost all the famous arts in the world are affected. The one with the Sistine Chapel, for people that aren't familiar, the hand of God and touching the hand of Adam, and God's hand used to come down towards Adam's, and now they're pretty much even straight across. And that's on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. That's been affected as well. I'm sorry.
And
I
you
just
know
wanted to explain.
the movie Son-in-Law with Pauly Shore, the movie poster for that was based on American Gothic, and she's still looking forward.
Oh, really? What's it called? I'll bring it up right now.
Son-in-Law.
Oh, what a terrible movie that was.
No, don't say that. Pauly Shore is a super nice guy.
Oh, he's
my husband did the air conditioning on the set of Jury Duty.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, super cool dude. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
But also in that movie Son-in-Law, they say, "Have you ever caught your own turkey?" And he says, "Yeah, Stouffer's, Butterball, and Swanson." So he totally refers to Stouffer's stovetop stuffing in that movie too.
Remind me, do not answer for 217, Karen, whoever that is, because fuck them. Rude bastards. Okay, Betty, I'm going to let somebody else call in. Anything else you want to say?
Is that the same number that's been calling in?
I think they called a couple times. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think they called at least twice, so they're not getting through now. They're done. Go ahead,
I'm
Betty.
glad you had a good time, and I will talk to you soon, man.
Did you watch the event? Did you watch the stream on Karen's channel?
Yeah, I did. The initial speaker that was talking about the ether, I was completely lost. I don't know. I don't operate on that level, I guess. I don't know. But it was good.
That was Bob.
Wow, somebody.
All right, man. I will talk to you later.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye. Hey, look at this guy. Just answer my call, my man. Somebody boot subliminally. Get him out of here. He keeps fucking calling and he knows he's being rude. Just boot him. Get him out of my chat. Fuck that guy. All right, somebody else call in. 978-435-0006. Yeah, so that was an awesome call. And she's always here in the chat. She's always watching the show.
What was her name again?
Betty Wolf.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that name. She's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the body changes are crazy. Here's the thing, yeah, people, but, you know, obviously with the person she brought up at the beginning, the fucking piece of shit, it's more than just not understanding the Mandela effect. Dude's a piece of shit on top of that. But people in general, I mean, they don't understand they don't even understand what residue is. You know what I mean? So real quickly, people, when something changes, official versions, continents, whatever, official maps, yeah, they change. But the residue remains in things that are parodies, TV shows that do skits, different, types of merchandise made off these things. And of course, what people remember, and it all works in unison, and we're not just fucking making it up. So it's so far beyond that. But yeah, I'm worried about the movie, Karen. I need to see it. Based on what you've seen real quick, I mean, you would be pretty skeptical too, wouldn't you?
Maybe it'll be just like it is for Flat Earth stuff. Any exposure is good exposure.
You want to do me a favor? You want to deal with this guy? This is the guy that keeps calling. You deal with him. We'll see what he says.
Okay, fine.
If he tries to get me in trouble.
Fine. Hello.
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 You there?
Yes, I'm here. Who's this?
This is Chris.
Oh,
Hi,
this
Chris.
This is Chris?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. This is the guy that's new to the Mandela effect?
Yes.
All right.
Man.
Cool.
tell us what happened, man.
I'm trying to figure this out. I just got into this. One of your Kevin McGrath, he turned me onto your channel, and he's on the chat right now. Kevin, how you doing?
Awesome.
To me, this has got to be a spiritual aspect to this, definitely, because things are changing physically, not just, and it's all over the place, and it's so many people are seeing this. So there's got to be something spiritual to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, so what grabbed you when you first got brought over to my channel that I was saying that made you did you dismiss this as a psyop before, or you were never really introduced to the idea, or you just kind of couldn't be bothered with it? Where were you at before you got to this channel? And then what happened?
I've heard of Mandela. I didn't know about the effect, but I knew who Mandela was, and I never really put two and two together until I turned on your channel and you played some of the videos. And I remember clearly you're talking about build it and they will come. I remember that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they're saying build it and he will come.
Yeah.
So I did a little test on my ex-wife and a couple other people saying, finish my sentence. And they finished exactly how I thought. And I said, see, there's something to this,
Yeah.
And it's not just that. I mean, I could leave it alone if it was just something, if it was just one thing or two things, but it's all kinds of stuff over and over. like the C-3PO with the silver leg. Come on,
fucking
I
ridiculous.
had the toy as a kid.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous that he has a silver leg. Ridiculous. And you know, I do like what I used to do, because I'm not on Facebook like I was, like, because I'm making videos now, but I used to do all my shit on Facebook for a few years. I took a break from radio because the 9/11 bullshit, like 3 years off. But I do polls on Facebook, and you know how you have to approach people. You can't tell them. So I would be like, you know, what color is C-3PO's leg? And I give a couple choices. I mean, what color is he? Give a few choices. Or, you know, I put out a poll about Ed McMahon to see what people remember.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like 99%. You know what I mean? 99%. And I'm not posting these polls in Mandela Effect groups, so it's skewed. I'm making sure I just post them on my public wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. And quite honestly, this is driving me crazy, because there's got to be a way we can prove this. Going to like, what's his face that did the movie that he said he didn't do the movie?
Sinbad, fuckface. Yeah.
Sinbad, yeah. You can probably, can't you go back to his taxes or something like that to get actual written proof?
Now, that's a good point. That's a good point, because you might be able to, because we've used the trademark office and other things like this to get proof, and proof has been there in many cases.
Right, but I mean,
like the Looney Tunes. The Looney Tunes, there's proof in the way you register the websites, because they registered the fucking TOONS 2 years before the TUNES.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what do you personally think this is?
How about we let Karen go first, because everybody always hears what I think it is. Karen, what are your opinions on what's happening here?
With the Mandela effect specifically?
Yeah, with things changing.
Well, I think that it is, I actually think it's us. I think it's us using our power of manifestation is what I really think it is. And something is triggering it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't know yet, is what is triggering it to work the way it's working. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that that's what it is, but that's what I think it is. And that's just what you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, none of us know, and that's along the lines of what I think as well. And I think that it is us causing it. I think some of the things are possibly clues left from the creator to let us know that this realm isn't, this physical realm isn't where it's at, and we need to eventually move past that. But is something triggering it, or it could be because we're manifesting it, like you said. And, with these different awakenings kind of all happening at the same time, it could be making itself multiply as well, like that too. But there could be an outside force acting on it, making it accelerate. It's fucking crazy.
Well, do you remember back, I think it was 2012, when the Mayan calendar ended? Maybe something happened then.
Well, yeah, and I do. And you know what? They also tried to gatekeep that as well. And what they did is the word apocalypse really meant like a new age, a new beginning. And what they did is they rolled out a bunch of doomsday type movies and all this shit. And if you searched apocalypse, that's what you were going to get. And they've been trying to mask that the whole time. I think that's what they did with the Mandela effect as well. They named it Mandela effect because they know it's a terrible fucking example, honestly.
It is terrible. That's not even an effect for me.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's not.
Well, there's no doubt that we are in the end days. I mean, you can't argue that at all. So, and it does say biblically, and I mentioned this in the chat to everybody, that God says that in the end days, Satan will change times. Mm-hmm. Now, what that means, who knows? But this could be some kind of effect of this changing of times.
I think
I don't know.
I think this is what I've said before too, and my theories change a little bit. I kind of tweak them a little bit as this has been going, especially this last year has been really wild. It's almost like there's a tug of war a little bit for our consciousness and our soul, and I think that we're causing the Mandela effect, but I think that whatever the evil force is, that's what's putting the updates and the backstories out there to cover up for it, to make you think you're just misremembering. And so that's what's causing the confusion. That's just my idea.
Yeah, well, God's not the creator of confusion. That's for starters, you know?
Yeah.
So with this being said, my eyes have just recently been opened, and I mean opened. You know, we're coming to the flat earth and everything else. It's hit me like a ton of lead. And where I go from here, I don't know. You know, it's just a matter of keeping my sanity and throwing this curveball into it. Just really, it's twisted my brain. Because
yeah, man, we're all going through it too. Hey, you came to the right place, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I did. Sort of. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. I have to look into this and talk to more people about it. I don't know. I was going to ask you, is some people not seeing this? Is it just for a chosen few? How does this work?
No, everybody is affected, but yes, some people are not seeing it. But I guarantee you can't. I'll bet money you cannot get one person and put them in a room with me for 5-10 minutes that I won't trip up on some of them. Sure, most of them aren't going to come out and say they admit this is real, but I'll still prove my point. You know, everybody's affected.
Yeah, especially when they know for a fact that you throw in movies and things like that you've seen a million times, and everybody knows. So how can you just say, nope, this guy never made this movie when I clearly remember it, you know, like it was yesterday, and so many other people do. So how can somebody else say, no, I don't know that, unless they're just blinded or somehow, some way.
Are you hearing static,
You know?
Karen?
I hear static.
Yeah, that's the caller. Because caller, your phone's getting wicked staticky.
Is it? Okay. How's that? Is that better?
No, not really. So you were talking about the Bible. Have you looked at the Bible Mandela effects yet? And if so, which ones are fucking you up?
Was it Mandela? All of them. The one that really got me was the movie.
Chris, you got to hang up and call right back. Chris, I'm going to hang up with you. Call right back in, okay?
All right.
Wow. Yeah, he's going through it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not his line. Hang on. It's my line. Hang on a second. Fuck. I hate when it does this. Hang on one second.
Okie dokie.
That's Chris. Chris, just hang on a second. The audio issues are on my end. Just hang on a second, okay? I have to fix it.
Yeah, if y'all do Discord, you should join Flat Earth Reality Discord. That's my Discord server. We share information. We talk in voice chat.
We're good now.
Yeah. Okay.
You can go now, Chris. The static should be gone. And I'm sorry about that. That's on my end, technically. Go ahead.
It was on your end?
Bible changes. Have you looked at the Bible changes yet? And what do you think?
Wow. I haven't really looked too much into the Bible changes. Mm-hmm. I've heard people talking about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure about that, you know?
Okay.
I know.
Hey, just remember, just stay on this path. And I'm not going to say, hey, don't go look at other content. I want you to look at everybody, but don't go down the fear road. I mean, if you want to believe something fearful is happening based on your research or whatever, that's fine. But there's a lot of channels, and I'd say probably more than half of the Mandela channels are all pushing fear. They want you to be scared. They make creepy fucking music in their videos. I'm not down with that shit. There's no need to be scared of this. This is a beautiful thing that's happening and a great time we're in. I mean, we got this going on. I know you said you've been looking at Flat Earth, right? Have you been watching the Globe Live tour and all the live streams every morning and shit? Like, this is a fucking good time to be going through this, being alive.
You know, all this is just hit me within the past year. I mean, the Mandela effect is just happened within a couple of days, but the Flat Earth within a year. You know, I was blind like everybody else, you know, until I started hearing proofs of it. And it just makes sense. And I don't trust the government. I don't trust NASA. They're all Freemason liars and Luciferians. And it's just, you know, I don't trust them.
No. Karen, take over for a second. I'm going to get a coffee.
Okay.
Well, you got it. He's talking about NASA. You could ask him a question.
Okay. Go coffee.
Yeah, I don't.
What were you saying? Go ahead.
This is really you say it's not a scary thing, but what's the end game? That's the question. And what more comes about after this? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. I have a feeling it is something pretty amazing, though. Something better than this.
It's just the beginning of it. I'd hate to see what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. You know, I mean, if this is just the very beginnings of something that we're seeing, good Lord.
Yeah.
I don't want to be scared of anything, but when you throw something like this on somebody's plate, it's hard not to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but when you realize that it's a spiritual thing and it's not man causing it and it's not, you know, CERN and all this stuff, and I know people are going to hate me for that too, but hey, that's, you know, I don't believe it's that, especially like if you come through Flat Earth, right? How long? Like a year ago you were looking at it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that NASA's completely fake, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And how many times have you told people that science needs to be testable, observable, and repeatable?
You know, it seems like everybody I know are still blind, and I'm not kidding you. I can't talk to anybody about it because I'm the crazy one.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I don't even go there with people.
Okay.
You know, it's crazy. You know, they look at you and they roll their eyes and like, oh, here we go. Chris is on his roll again with Flat Earth or what have you. And I was the same way. I truly was one of these people until I literally have to say God opened my eyes, and it was just an awakening. You know, and I'm grateful for it, but I have to treat people with kid gloves when it comes to this because I get it. You know, I know where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's you just got to be careful because, yeah, of course they're going to look at you like you're crazy when you bring something to the table like this.
Yeah. Well, you know, even if you don't bring those points up to people, you yourself are probably at the point where you're not going to just believe claims from people that are here that are constantly deceiving us and that are our enslavers. I mean, you'd probably agree with that, right? And CERN's no different than NASA, in my opinion. Sure, people can claim that they can leave, and people say, what about the guy with the Bond sign and the Mandela sign, the CERN physicist in the office? Okay, and what about the opening of the Gotham Tunnel and all the satanic shit? Okay, that doesn't prove that they're doing anything. And I'm not saying they're not doing something demonic there or whatever, but in my opinion, of course they want you to think they're causing the Mandela effect. Of course they do, because it can't be spiritual, bro. Just like with Flat Earth, it can't be anything spiritual. Everything has to be explained by their fucking science and their math, because that's how they hang on to control of everything. And if we have more potential, which I know we do, and I think we're going to unlock more senses, and we already are, they're trying to hide all of that. We're our biggest, you know, we're their biggest enemy once we're all unified. So that's why they've always been dividing us ever since day one, dude. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So all that said, all that said,
God any way they possibly can, they will, and they are. you know?
Yeah. And
I
all
think
that.
God is choosing people as the end times are approaching. He's choosing them to open their eyes, little bits here, a little bit there, choosing people. And there's literally a war going on of
We're in
the
a
spiritual
fucking
battle.
dude. We're in
And
a
I think
fucking
we are
spiritual war.
caught in the middle of it.
Dude, we're in a fucking spiritual war, and some of us, and I know we mentioned this in one of the earlier shows, Karen. I mean, a lot of people might ask why you do what you do. You were put here to do this. This is what you're meant to do, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So,
what does your family think of this? I mean, have you opened their eyes?
You asking me or her?
Both of you, either one.
Go ahead, Karen. You go first. I'll go grab my coffee. Now it's ready.
Well, my mother does not buy into it at all. She sees a lot of other stuff. She actually called me about Sandy Hook, saying that she thought that was fake. But I tried to get her to look at flat earth stuff for a while now, and she doesn't. Sometimes she'll talk to me about it, but she's definitely not.
It's one thing to talk to somebody or your family about it or anybody to talk to them, but when you start showing them proofs, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
When you show them, hey, listen, I asked my ex-wife, repeat after me, finish my story. You remember the movie, and she did. She build it and they will come. And I said, see. Now I said, look it up online, look it up anywhere. They're saying build it and he will come. And she'll come up with every excuse. Well, I don't know, maybe it's a misprint or something. I'm like, no, that's not it. There's something to this. And my daughter even said, yeah, Dad, I've heard something about it. I just haven't looked into it. I'm like, let's look into this together. But they don't want to. It's kind of like they put up this barrier and they don't want to go there. Me, on the other hand, once something like this comes up, I'm digging deep. I'm going to figure it out, what's going on. It's just who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, me too,
I have
man.
to.
Yeah, me
I
too.
have to.
And I don't know what I missed while I ran to get the coffee, but
Yeah, the Mandela effect is hard though because not everything affects everybody the same way, and some people remember some, and others don't remember others, and it's kind of all over the place.
I don't really remember Mandela dying or anything like that. I don't, honestly.
That's
but
why they
everything
named
else
it that.
I do remember.
And isn't that funny? And that's why they named it that, the one that's really confusing. Even amongst the community, there's like 3 different times people remember when if he died, and then the other history that it is now. And well, here's the thing that the point though that you got to try and make with people sometimes is, and it's hard, I know, but you got to make them realize that if even one is real, it is real. Because sure, they can sit there and cherry pick. It's just like when people argue about the globe, right? They'll sit there and cherry pick and find like 2 or 3 things that work on both models, but they won't address the 100 things that debunk their globe that you already brought up. It's the same thing that they'll do with Mandela effects. They'll bring up Mandela or something they don't agree with, and it's like, well, you already agreed C-3PO was all gold. Ed McMahon worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. They said if you build it, they will come. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You never heard of Black Tom. You know what I mean? You can go down the list.
Absolutely. I even lost a good friend of mine. She stopped talking to me and everything over the flat earth. She's like, if you believe that, you'll believe anything, Chris. And I asked her, I said, so give me one reason why you believe the earth is round. And she said, I saw it on television. And I said, you know what else they saw on television? I saw a huge ape on the top of what's that building in New York?
Empire State
It's all
Building.
CGI.
Yeah.
She's like, you're crazy. Come on. Why would they lie to us? And I said, I'll give you 50 million reasons a day why they'll lie to us. Starter.
Yeah.
You know, why did anybody lie to you?
What'd you say, Karen?
Everything went crazy sounding for me. Does it sound like that for you too? Like a lot of distortion?
No, I sound fine now. But no, you sound good. Hello?
To me, you sound.
Distorted still? Yeah, okay. Karen, you distorted still?
Yes.
All right, just bounce out and come back in.
I can't hear you at all. I hear you break up.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna let you go and try and work out the audio issues, okay?
Say that again. Hello? Karen?
Can you hear me now? And I can't hear you. Hang on. What am I missing here? Mic to line 3. Fuck. I can't hear you. Can the audience hear you? Can you guys hear Karen? Hang on. That's crazy. Try that again. Hello? Can people hear you, Karen? Are you muted?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking punch you dead in the face. Oh my god.
No, you know what it is? I
just
never hit the mute mic on my mic. I never hit the mute button on my mic, but this guard hit it, and then the light was blocked by the guard, so I couldn't see that it was muted because I couldn't see the light on the mic.
Oh
I'm
boy.
sorry.
If Karen ends up buried in her yard, you know what the fuck happens. Because I got to reset like all the virtual audio cables when I do that. I almost redid them all again. I'm like, oh, all right. Is the static gone?
The static's gone. Can you guys still not hear me? Nope, can't hear Karen. Can't
Yeah,
hear
that's what I'm saying. Hold
Karen.
on.
Karen, yes. No Karen. I am so confused. I can't tell if they can hear me. Karen is back.
They can hear you.
Okay.
It's on a delay. The delay just caught up now to where you unmuted the mic. I heard
All
it.
right, all right, all right, all right. Boy, that's a long delay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're gonna let somebody else call in, and thank you so much for the call, Scott. What's his name, Scott? No, it wasn't Scott. What
No,
the
it was
fuck his
Chris.
name? Chris. Thank
Was
you,
the
Chris.
last person.
Yeah. So Chris is going through it right now hard, and yeah, Chris, just don't default to the fear, and it's cool to explore all angles of the Mandela effect and all theories, but just don't let yourself fall into a lot of the fear traps when it doesn't need
Don't
to
freak
be that.
out.
And don't freak out.
Everything's gonna be okay. That's why I like to say Earth is flat and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Why
Earth
not?
is flat. Have a nice day. Stuff like that. Because it is going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. It'll be better than okay.
It really is. We're literally going to be fine in the long run. That's what I honestly think. I mean, I'm not scared of anything. I actually want things to accelerate. And I mean, obviously you want things to accelerate. I mean, look at all the work that you put into Flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think
Why am
about
I hearing myself back? Okay, now I'm not.
All right.
I was there for a second, but not now.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the audio issues tonight. That sucks. Yeah, so I really want things to accelerate. The Mandela effects don't even freak me out anymore. I mean, my neighborhood one did, and they're still huge to me, but they don't freak me out where I'm like, oh my fucking God. I mean, I'm years past that, up to the point where it's like, this is fucking cool, man. I think it's cool because there's never a boring day. Shit's always changing. And it's like, we're literally, and I bring this point up a lot, but some people might not have heard it. There's a lot of people that will look at Flat Earth and won't look at Mandela effect because they'll dismiss, and from all topics, there's a lot of people from all topics, they won't look at Mandela effect because, well, that can't be. They'll come in with the false foundation of, well, what you're saying, Brian, can't be true. So it has to be these other things. And they won't even look at how easy it is to debunk all the ideas that lead you towards it's a psyop. But the reason that they are dismissing it right away, because it can't be possible with their rules of reality. But, we know where those rules of reality came from.
Getting a lot of questions about addressing airplane engine placement as far as the Mandela effect goes.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Well, if you guys haven't seen the shows that I've done on it, or I know Truth Seeker 69 has done a lot of videos on that. I'll bring up some images real quick. Hang on.
She was streaming from the airport the other day. I saw her.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't able to because I was at the airport as well. But yeah, I did see a little bit of it. Yep. Hang on one second, guys. Let me bring up. I'll bring up my photos. Mandela effect. So, and I'll just show you what we're talking about here. And where is it? Jets. Residue. Okay, this is from a video game called Just Cause 2. Now, for the people that don't understand the Mandela effect and what happens is when something changes in our physical reality, okay, it changes all the way back in the past. It's not just like something somebody redesigned an airplane or whatever. This, it might look familiar to you. Looks familiar to me. Now, yes, this is a video game. It's a graphic. But again, that's why this is able to remain. These airplanes, regular commercial airliners, were portrayed in this video game. This is how they look to me. See where the engine is? Under the wing. Just like this. This is what aircraft used to look like to me and to all the people you hear talking about it. And there are a lot of other little changes that have happened as well on it. But we'll get more into that after. This is what I remember an aircraft looking like. So what's my point? Well, my point is now the aircrafts look like, come on. Sorry, this computer's slow right now. like this. And I know this is a military one. These look like fucking missiles, not engines, right? But hold on, I'll get to a commercial one. This is what your commercial airliners look like now, folks. Look at the engines. That's what they look like, and it goes all the way back. It's on all the commercial airliners with this type of design, except there is one Boeing model that didn't change. That doesn't even look mechanically sound the way those are placed. So that's the stuff with the airplane engines that we're talking about. That shit's crazy to me. That's a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's how they all look when you go to the airport now, too. I was looking at them.
It's crazy, right? And the thing is, even if, Karen, if you have pictures when you were at the airport before and you're standing in front of one, the engines will be moved up on it now. People have actually sent me pictures of that, where that's happened to them. It's fucking crazy. So that's what we're dealing with here. And it doesn't even look sound, but somehow it works. Now think about what this means, people. If they shifted like that, they're still working. That means everything that like happens that works in conjunctions with the engines and keeping the plane in the air and all that, it had to shift a little bit, which also means all the people that work on that are taking subconsciously some form of download of something that's making it so they can still work on these things, still perform maintenance on them, and they still work because the planes aren't just falling out of the sky. That's the fucked up part about it. You know what I mean? Just like the Simpsons.
I wonder if anybody has seen a plane with the engines under the wing recently, ever. Older planes. I wonder if you look in like plane graveyards where planes go to die.
Jen actually did that, and she pulled up some residue of like diagrams of planes. You know what I mean? Like there was like a site where it had a bunch of I don't know. She could explain it better. I think she's in the chat. That's now Jay Tassie says maybe they just redesigned the plane. Okay, Jay Tassie, go back 20 years and show me a picture where the engines are underneath. You can't. They didn't just redesign them. So there goes that. That's what people will say about all this stuff, Jay Tassie. What if they just reissued a movie? Well, no, because you can pull it off your shelf and the changes I'm talking about. Well, maps are wrong, Brian. Flat Earth, globe Earth, map projections. No, because the stuff you agreed with that you remember, none of it is on the globe or the map in your basement or the encyclopedia on your shelf. So all those ideas are completely debunked, especially things that we watch that keep changing, like Wizard of Oz, Forrest Gump, Star Wars, all this. It changes in front of you. So, yeah. Rasta Bear says, I'm a no-planer. I think planes may be fake. Maybe it's VR combined with holograms. Rasta, I mean, some good ideas there, right? But it's not that. You guys are reaching. This is what Rasta's really reaching here now. You know what I mean? Like, no, Rasta, again, let's just say, let me put it to you like this. And you know, I don't know what you have for pictures. I don't know where you've been on vacation. But I don't know you either, though. So let's just say you have a picture of an airplane that you were standing in front of, or you took a picture out the window, and you know that the engines were underneath. Your own picture now is going to have them move forward. So what does that have to do with VR or holograms in the sky or anything like that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Crazy shit. I'll open the phones back up. Oh, the phones are open. Somebody call in. 978-435.
What's the number?
978-435-0006. Anybody want to call in that was at Flattoberfest? That would be cool. I would like some people to call in. I know we tried to have some people call in the other night. There weren't too many that were there that called in. I think a couple people did, though. That was cool. And, I want to give a thank you for Dan the Waterman for the kind words about the show when he called you on Zulus. Appreciate that.
978-435-0006.
Now, Joey, I know sometimes the shit you say in the chat, you're fucking around. Joey said Jubilee is doing a Mandela Effect episode. Is that true, Joey, or you were just fucking around? Because if that's true, I want to know who the fuck's speaking. Dose of Reality, you're on with Brian and Karen.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Paul from New Hampshire. How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Hello, Paul.
Hey, I just wanted to say, first of all, Brian, I just want to say, yep.
Oh God. Hang on. Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Hey, I got introduced to you on Photo Helix's show about a month ago, and I've subbed to all your channels and have been following you. First of all, you do a great job. I really want to thank you for all you do for integrating the communities and everything. I mean, I'm a new caller in this, and Mandela effect is something that I've been living with now for quite a while. And I finally won my wife over with the whole jet engine thing. We were just on a vacation, and I asked her on the way to the airport, tell me where the engines are. And she started describing it. And I said, okay, when we land at the airport, take a look at the plane and tell me what you see. And freaked her out. And, totally freaked me out first. But I think your whole thing about not being afraid is really important. And it really, I think a lot of the stuff that's out there about the fear is just not the way to go. I think you're absolutely right. It's spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
That's
I mean,
what
for me,
believe.
though, I mean, I started seeing this stuff around 2010, but I never heard of the Mandela effect until I started looking at it on the internet. And that was about probably 4 years ago. I was driving out of Boston one night, and, I was pretty late, and there were no traffic downtown. So all of a sudden, all the lights change. And, I'm looking at it, and although the lights are green, and the green light's on the bottom, and I'm like, what the fuck? Did they change the traffic lights all of a sudden? And so I went home and looked it up on the... I'm sorry, what?
No, you there? Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, no. I saw the traffic lights change, and I started looking at it on the internet, and then I started reading about the Mandela effect, and I was like, all the usual stuff. Pretty much every video you've done, I've pretty much found out. I found out the same things. So I mean, it's just one of those things where, at first I was freaked out with it, and then when I saw that they were changing things in my house, I'm like, it can't be a psyop. It's not like they could just change something on the internet. And the more you look into it, the more I really look at it as a gift from God. I mean, it's really a chance to see what reality is like, what it is and it isn't, and how you shouldn't be throwing all your efforts and all your life energy into just material things. It's not real.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you
and I just want to say also,
on.
Brian, because
Yeah,
of what you've done and the way you've I mean, I was exposed to Flat Earth about a year ago, and I pretty much dismissed it out of hand. Saw a couple of videos, dismissed it out of hand, and really it was because I've been with 9/11 since about 2005. I've listened to a lot of what you say, and I'm like, how can I be with this guy on almost everything he says? And he's so convincing and adamant about Flat Earth. So I started looking at a bunch of Flat Earth videos and doing it with an open mind. And I don't know that I'm completely there yet, but I think I am. And I certainly think that they got a lot of explaining to do. And, just keep an open mind.
All right. Awesome, man. I'm glad it's resonating with you. I'm having audio issues, and I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's getting staticky. I'm going to take a quick break and reset the audio. Do you want to hang on during the break, or do you want to go?
I'll call it another time. I just wanted to say thank you for all you're doing, and Karen, thank you for all your hard work on the Blacktoberfest. It was a great production, great weekend, and I'm sure you're tired from that, but it was really worth it.
Thank you. Did you go?
I didn't go, but I actually watched a lot of it live stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Yes, it was.
Including Ace's house tours, which were Ace. So thanks a lot, guys. Good night.
All right, thank you. I'm going to run a screen share on the video, and I might be able to grab audio to play music during the break. If not, guys, just stick with us 5 minutes. I got to reset all the audio. It's going to take a couple minutes. I can't deal with the static, and it's taken away from the callers.
All
so
right.
we'll do 5 minutes. So go ahead, get a drink, Karen. We'll be right back. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. You should hear me and see me. Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I can
Audio's
hear
good?
you.
How about music? How's it sound?
Do you envy? That's dumb. That's dumb. Dumb. That's dumb.
Could you guys hear that music? All right, cool. Karen, you back?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. But hey, you know what? It was time for a break anyways, but I just got fucked out of a smoke break. So, yeah, man. Yeah, sometimes the virtual audio cables get all staticky like that. And when you run your system on virtual audio cables, dude, that's not quick to reset. Yeah, I have to run 5 different cables and change all my sound settings. And then when it goes crap, I got to disable it, fucking re-enable everything. I'll open the phones back up. Phones are open. 978-435-0006. Give me a ring, dong dong. We're back. How do I sound?
Sound good to me.
You're muted.
No, I'm not. Am I muted?
Hello?
You can't hear me?
Still don't hear you.
This time I'm not muted. Can chat hear me?
Still don't hear you.
Come on.
Are you muted down bottom?
No. No. Hello, hello.
Hang on, caller. I'm going to hang up on the caller for now. What the fuck? I can't hear you. Bounce out and come back in. Maybe because I reset all the audio. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, you guys could hear Karen for real? Oh, they hear you, Karen. Karen, come back. Hello?
Hello?
I hear you now. It was weird because, listen, we're getting fucked with here. I mean, it's the system. It's not me because they heard you. I didn't hear you. You left and came back, and now I hear you. It's not even an audio setting. All right, they hear us both now. All right, good. We're good. Guys, I'm sorry about the audio issues. Thank you for being patient, but you know how it is. YouTube fucking sucks. We get fucked with. I'm not going to be paranoid and say somebody's fucking with us, but somebody's fucking with us. It's what it seems like.
It's the Adjustment Bureau.
You know, I still haven't seen that movie.
I haven't seen it either, but I like to say it because Roxanne says it. It's the Adjustment Bureau, darling.
Darling. She says darling all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, whoever was just trying to call in, call back. I'm sorry about that. Okay, yeah, I hung up, Dan, because I didn't have the audio set up with Karen, so you can call in now. 978-435-0006. Somebody call in. Yeah, sorry about that, guys, but hopefully it's fixed now. That sucks because I had a good caller I had to let go. Oh, Jen's calling in too, so whoever calls in first, you're on the horn.
Somebody call in. If nobody calls in, I'll share pictures from Flattoberfest if you want.
Here we go. Hang on.
Goodness
Dose of
gracious.
Reality, you're on with Brian and Karen.
Hey, Brian, it's Jennifer.
Hi, Jen.
How you doing?
Good. What's up?
Good. I want to say hi to you and Karen and, talk a little Mandela affected engines.
Okay, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Yes. Okay, well, I just put up a video earlier today and the other day as well. When I was landing, these fucking engines did something that I've never seen before. And I told you now it's sticking out like 90% out, 10% under. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we touched down on the ground, the side panel opened up on the engine facing the window side. So I could see this panel opening up on the side of the engine. And then it was like all this noise happening and everything. And I was like, what the fuck was that? The weird thing is that when I first videoed it, I didn't even notice it until when I went back later on that night to look at the video. And then I noticed the panel opening up. So I didn't even see it with my own eyes when I was videoing this whole thing. And that freaked me out. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss that? But there it is in my video. So I made sure when I was on the way home, I sat right there at the window next to the engine. And I caught it all on video again. There's this weird panel that opens up on the side of the engine. You could see into the engine, and it's like some sort of, I guess, braking system of some sort or something. I think Awakened Saint mentioned that used to only be a feature for military airplanes. It was never something that was on commercial airliners.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
It was bizarre.
And you're always on taking planes. You're always on a flight.
Yeah, and I'm always right there at the window. And I had open seating this time, so I made sure both times I got right there, right next to the engine. It was just right there in my face.
Can you talk about some of the residue you dug up? Because Karen was asking about checking airplane graveyards and stuff like that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool how she had resonated with, looking into the graveyards. And here I just looked into the graveyards. And I noticed that lately there's a lot of things that, I'll be doing that somebody else is just picking up on or something that I'm thinking of somebody else brings to the forefront. It's like we're all collectively getting on the same page and we're all seeming to be just resonating with the truth, and it's leading us down, these paths together, like we're converging, which is really cool. But the residue I got, there was a lot of planes in there that I found that are how we remember them, and I was surprised about that. And there was a lot of planes in there, that look like the most recent Mandela effect before this one just happened where it's 90% out. I found ones in there that are like 75% out, 25% under, how that first Mandela effect affected the engines.
Mm-hmm.
I found a lot of those, and I found about a good 5 or 6 planes in there that are exactly how we remember them, with the engines under the wings, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of drawings, of course, and sketches and, like different design sketches and stuff that were, totally under the wing. I mean, maybe 20, 25% of the wing, engine coming out, but
yeah, it's
now,
ridiculous now.
Oh my
now
God.
They're even more forward, it looks like.
Yeah, it's crazy. And also, Karen, I wanted to tell you, you did a great job on Flattoberfest. Amazing that you can put all that together and do all that. I'm just gratitude to you for all that. And I wanted to tell you that I talked to the pilot on my way in. I had to stop because he was right there. And, as soon as I walked on the plane, I said, all your instruments set on level? And he said, absolutely.
Yeah.
And did you see that? I don't know if you saw that or not.
I don't think so. I would have to go check it out.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah, they're on level. Sometimes I screw them up, but yeah, they're on level. And then I asked him about dipping the nose down every 5 minutes because of the curve of the earth. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's just for credibility. And I laughed and I said, yeah, that's right, because it's an airplane. We're flying over the plane of the earth. It's not an air globe, is it? And he's like, not quite. I thought that was, and I got that all on video. It's on my channel. So, it was pretty cool.
I should have recorded when I talked to a pilot, but I didn't. I just was like, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm all balls out like that. I'm just like, can I take a picture in the cockpit? So, of course, I got 2 pictures in the cockpit as well, plus talk to him. I just take every advantage I get these days because I never know when the opportunity is going to come back up again. So I'm just like all over it when I get the chance. Just go for it.
Yeah, you don't fuck around. She approaches everybody, Karen. If she sees a veteran, she goes right up to him. How many people?
I know she's way more outgoing and talkative than I am. I do it, but
Well,
I have
you
to
know,
be in a
we
mood
all
for
have
it.
our little niches and stuff, you know, and I don't have a lot of friends around here and stuff like that. And I like talking to people, and I work with the public, so I've been working for the public for years, and I'm just used to talking to people. And I'm very since the Mandela effect and all, I'm very curious to know what people think, because, you know, right, gut instinct, you know, their first reaction, their answer is, you know, truthful, and you could tell that they're, you know, yeah, of course I remember Ed McMahon, you know, Publishers Clearinghouse. And then I'm like, yeah, he never worked for them. And they're like, what? Well, that's crazy. That's bizarre. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Because you remember the commercials just like I do, you know? And they're like, well, where does that memory come from? So I like to plant seeds wherever I can. You know, maybe they'll go home and check it out. But I don't think this Mandela Effect movie is going to be anything that's going to be beneficial for the Mandela Effect community itself. It's coming out of Hollywood in any kind of way. I just feel not good about it. But my sister would be like, well, isn't this what you want? You want people to know about it? But she doesn't really understand like how they spin stuff, you know? And there's always going to be that angle in there.
You can't explain gatekeeping to somebody that doesn't research anything. Like terms like gatekeeping. I never even knew the term gatekeeping or some of these other terms that we know now. PSYOPs, shill, these types of words. I never knew them before I looked into 9/11. You know what I mean? People don't know those words.
I didn't even understand the concept of those things until I started looking into all this stuff.
Like liars are going to lead you to truth first. Like, huh? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to always get, oh, where'd you hear that at? On the internet? And I'm like, well, where did you hear that at? On TV? You know? The internet's convenient when they need an answer for something, but when you're coming at them with some stuff that you've researched, you know, it's like, oh, where'd you hear that? On the internet? But yeah, we naturally gatekeep each other. It's been going on for generation after generation. It's just, it's like a society mindset where, you know, there's rules to society, there's ethics, or what is it called? Etiquette, you know, like Facebook etiquette, all this stuff. Oh, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't post that, blah, blah, blah. It's like everybody's always, you know, gatekeeping each other in one way or another. And they don't really have to do any work. You know, the powers that be, they just throw it all out there, propagandize everybody, indoctrinate our kids from birth, you know, and then here we are.
Yeah. And you know, it's fucking crazy. Jen, you know what? If there's a Flatoba next year, you have to come, because me and you have to hang out down there. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. I'm totally down with it. I would have been there this year, but it was my son's 30th birthday, and we were planning this for a while, but totally would love to go hang out with you guys. I'm so down for that. Yes. I'm there already.
Yeah, it was really cool. We all been exhausted. I've been beat for like fucking days.
Wow.
I know Karen has too, and it really fucking hit me today.
I think I'm finally starting to get over it a little bit though now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get back to myself after being away for 7 days and sleeping on an air mattress and stuff.
You know what else is cool, Jen? Because it's like, so obviously me and Karen been doing the shows for a bit now, so most of people that follow her probably know that we're doing shows, and but there's a lot of people that I haven't seen in here regularly still, but now that I've met a lot of people, I've noticed that those people are all, you know, been in the chat the last couple shows, the last couple of premieres that I did since I got back. So that's wicked cool to see.
Heck yeah. I mean, you know, the communities are coming together. I always felt that Flat Earth and Mandela Effect were connected in some way. I might not know exactly how that connection goes together, but I feel it. And more, it just seems to me like there's this death throes of this matrix that we're in, trying to stay in control of everything. And it seems to be like, you know, rearranging everything and shuffling things around and all this stuff. It's definitely signs of the times. We're in the end times. You know, it is an exciting time to be alive, and it's exciting to be awake to all this and actually see it for what it is, because the people who are not awake are, you know, sleepwalking their way through lives thinking they got everything figured the fuck out are the ones that are going to really, you know, not have a good time of it. But it's a blessing to be awake to all this, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a fantastic time to be alive. I think it's fucking exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And I do remember all that 2012 stuff, and I do remember them saying, you know, well, 2014, 2015, around that time frame, we're going to be seeing major changes and, you know, new land masses popping up where, you know, other ones were and they aren't anymore. Well, now we're seeing all this Mandela affected, you know, map stuff and globe stuff. And they would say, you know, there's going to be a shift in our reality. Well, you know, now here we are, 2014, 2019, 2020, and everything's fucking shifted. So, yeah, they definitely hijacked the whole 2012 thing, and you know, they even propagandized that and made it into movies and stuff. And they're doing the same thing with the Mandela effect. They're doing the same thing with Flat Earth. So we really have to be vigilant when these types of movies come out, like that Yesterday movie and stuff. They're trying to corporatize the Mandela effect and steer the mass population who aren't awake yet, steer their mindset into a certain direction about this whole thing. Because I think they're starting to realize people are waking up to it.
Yeah,
and,
well,
you
that's
know,
why. Look how many shows I did in the last year talking about the disinfo rising against the Mandela effect. Like I said, I get the alerts every day now. Almost every day, there's a new article that's telling you how we're misremembering, or there's this false memory syndrome, or you know, all this bullshit. It's basically every day now.
Yeah, you know, and then they talk about that pareidolia fucking thing where, you know, people have this gene where they're, you know, I don't know, like inbred conspiracy theorists of some sort or something like, I don't know. It's just like, where's this all leading to? And
well, if you don't believe it, if you think the earth is flat or you believe vaccines aren't safe, Michio Kaku, Michio fucking Cuckoo says you have a genetic disorder, pareidolia. So Karen, you definitely have that because you know, you're one of those crazy people that don't trust vaccines. So you're
Pareidolia, that is where people have the tendency to see features in patterns in nature. Like if you look out somewhere and you say, "Oh, I see a face," that's what pareidolia is. It's like a defense mechanism supposed to be like that, right? So like you can spot faces if they're hiding. You can spot, you know, camouflage things.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can see further than most, it seems like. You have a different perspective on your site. It may be an extra sense that we're not awake to, that these people, you know, some people have that, and you can see patterns and stuff.
Jen, you remember the show me and you did like, I don't know, 3-4 months ago called Mandela Effect and Our Unlocked Senses? I mean, that veil isn't just being peeled back, it's being ripped apart right now.
Absolutely. And, you know, apocalypse, I think you said something about it earlier, but apocalypse means the unveiling, or the veil is lifting, and, you know, and the veil is lifting, and our senses are going to come online. We're going to wake up one day and see shit. It was like, whoa, what the fuck's all this stuff? But it's stuff that we haven't seen because our senses weren't unlocked, and we're getting towards that now. And with all this 5G network and all this crap that they're trying to do and surround us with these frequencies, they're trying to stunt all this from happening. That's what I feel is going on.
Yeah, well, that's what I felt the chemtrails were for the whole time as well, along with other you know, agendas too, you know. But
well, there's definitely a nefarious reason for these chemtrails. It's not like they're having fun up there just putting clouds in the sky and stuff for our benefit or anything.
No, and it's not to kill us all like they want you to believe. Because right when
but
you
there's
first
definitely a reason for it that's not beneficial for humanity, but it'll be beneficial for them in the long run. You know what I mean? Whether it's to hide something where it would be visible, to be able to see from the dome, you know, signs in the skies and stuff like that, or even the stars, the watchers and whatnot. Something is because between us and 35,000 feet, it's nothing but murky crap. And then above 35,000 feet, it's crystal clear blue skies. So that's why I feel like they're trying to, I don't know, like make the ether itself murky in some way. I can't explain what they're trying to do, but it's not good.
Well, that makes total sense. You know, I think they're basically polluting our frequencies. Basically, they're basically jamming it up and jamming up our connections. That's what I think they're doing.
Yeah, and so yeah, the jet engines, though, man, that just really freaked me out. I couldn't believe that side panel opened up. I'm like, what the F? What's going on?
Yeah, while you're sitting on the fucking plane.
And I saw some other planes at the airport that didn't look great neither. Like there's these planes now that have the engines
I know,
right on the side of the plane at the fucking windows.
I know, I've seen those too, and I'm like, oh, but you know,
What the fuck? I would hate to sit there. I mean, you know how much noisy that must fucking be? It's just insanity. It doesn't even look great. It's like bizarre.
But, all right, I'm gonna let somebody else call in. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks for talking with me, and I love you, Karen. Take care. I hope y'all feel better.
Thanks
Normal.
for calling.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
She's like, Karen, I love you, even though she wanted to originally choke you a few months ago.
Oh, no. I just figure, people who don't really, care about it too much, eventually they will, because it's going to affect them and they're going to start seeing it and they're just going to have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
I'm only joking because Karen already brought that up and joked about it before.
I love you, Karen, girl.
Love you too.
Have a good one. All right, guys.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye. The best Karen was you were like, my name is Karen and I was a Mandela effect denier.
Yeah,
funny.
It was.
Yeah. Michael Jordan in the house. Michael Jordan wants the number. Here we go. We got another call right now. Dose of Reality. You're on with Brian and Karen. Who's this?
Brian, this is Calvin. How's it going?
Hey, Kevin or Calvin? I'm sorry.
Calvin.
Calvin. What's up, Calvin?
Hey, just wanted to call in and chat.
All right.
As far as those engines, the braking system on them, I think that's been around for a long time. I remember seeing that.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Okay.
But people were having questions about the Bible, and I'm not a big Bible reader. But I did want to mention something.
Sure. Hang on. Let me just hang up on this other caller. Second caller. I'm sorry. You have to wait. One call at a time, guys. All right. Go ahead.
All right, Revelations chapter 22, verse 10.
Yeah.
It says, and he saith unto me, seal not the sayings of this prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. So people are talking about all these changes in the Bible. Yeah. If they just read the end of Revelations right there, that, I think God is basically explaining to people, hey, towards the end, I'm going to, this book is going to become corrupt. I think that we're in Revelations.
Yeah.
And what does Revelations actually mean? It's an awakening, right? So I'm assuming that, people are just waking up and seeing that.
That's why when people
lived
say
an
it,
entire life and
people call it
a lie. And I'm like,
people call it end times, and it sounds like, a lot of people make it sound scary, but I think it's just end of this phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This part of the journey that we're in.
Oh, another thing is, I went down to Oktoberfest. I was there with y'all.
Oh, you were there? Did you come say hi to me and Karen?
Yeah.
What was your name again?
I did say hi to you. I didn't say hi to Karen because she doesn't go outside and smoke. But you were often outside, and I agree with her too. She said that, maybe have the bands at the end because, right around the middle when Rob was speaking, the bands were there. It was too loud for everybody. And a lot of the, the people that were a little older or whatever, I think they just kind of, didn't want to handle that. And they ended up, leaving midway because when I come back for like the second half of Rob's talk, I noticed that there was quite a few people gone, and I understand it was running late, but, I was thinking, put it at the beginning or put it at the end. And that way, they might stay longer when, that kind of music might not be a people's thing or something. I don't know.
So how did you enjoy the event?
I loved it. Like I said, that was the first time that I actually got to come down there and be around people that's like me. Because like I said, I've spoken to my family, I've spoken to my friends, and the things that I mentioned to them, it's logical, but they just don't get it. Even when I bring up the Mandela effect, I said, don't you remember it this way? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, look, it's not anymore. Well, I'm just misremembering.
Yeah.
And I said, you could probably do that for the first to 5 to 10 to 20 of them. But I mean, at a certain point, you got to sit there and go, no, there's something more happening here. And I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Where other people are just kind of blow it off. And I'm like, why are you blowing it off? This is the biggest thing ever. I think people they measure the cost of what it's going to cost them to think this way, and they choose not to do it.
Well, fuck the cost. People are cowards.
Bottom line.
People are cowards. Fuck the cost. Yeah, fuck it. You have to go where truth is, man.
Exactly. And yeah, truth's more important than anything else. So I'm going to follow that as long as it, sides with my religion, because I'm a Christian. I'm going to go that route. But I think this is all falling into play. It's going to focus that way. It just seems like everything seems to be pointing that way anyway.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
you said you're a Christian. How did you enjoy Rob's thing? Because Karen, that was the first time you said, right, that he was able to do the full thing.
Yeah.
His full presentation?
Oh, I stayed there all the way to the end. Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention to Karen was that on my paperwork, when I got my ticket, it said that there was another event the following day at 1 p.m., like on the Monday. And I know that's not, it was just a one-day event, but I was like, I ended up getting a hotel down there at the, within walking distance, because I thought I was going to have to, spend the night. And I did actually, and go the next day, but no biggie on that. It was still worth it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being around people that were awake.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt. And that's one thing I was mentioning to other people when I was there. I said, look, I'm in Anderson. I mean, that's not 30 minutes away. And I'm like, we should, when you have these events, maybe we should have a sign-up roster for people who choose to sign it. Not that they have to, saying, look, people within a 100-mile radius of this particular event that do want to get together after the fact, maybe like once a month at a particular place and just chat to be around other people. And I think you're going to get a lot more information than that, that way, and grow faster rather than, and we could bring people to those groups too, that could answer questions that maybe the person that brought them couldn't. Just a thought, throw it out there. Because
are you on Facebook?
We're pretty rare.
Are you on Facebook?
I am, but I really don't go in there and, do a lot of that stuff. I'm like, oh, that stuff's probably, I want to say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I think that, like you said, that term's been, the CIA brought that up. I'm just a truth seeker. So, because people hear that word and they think you're automatically nuts, right? And I'm like, I've been an ICU nurse for 24 years. I'm not a nut. I know what nuts are. I take care of them.
So, ICU nurse, what do you think about the Mandela effect body changes? Any of them really stand out to you and fuck you up?
They're crazy. I know that God doesn't talk that way. I see those changes, and I brought that up, to my preacher, and I understand he's got multiple people, so for him to come out and say something would be. Oh no,
I was talking. You can do the Bible. I was talking about the anatomy changes because you're a nurse. But go ahead, talk about the Bible ones with the preacher first.
Oh yeah.
No, go ahead.
We haven't grown a tail yet. I mean, I understand that the heart's moved a couple inches over to the right. It used to be on the left, and now it's supposed to be centered. And yeah, the kidneys coming up under the rib cage again. But
have you seen any have anybody else in the field approached you and been like, "What the fuck, man? Like, I don't know what's going on right now."
Oh no. I mean, I haven't worked in about a year. Like I said, I've done it for like 24 years, and then I just got fed up with it to the point where I walked away from it. I'm not even working right now, and
feels good,
I don't know
doesn't
what I'm
it?
going to do next.
But it feels good for a bit, doesn't it?
But when I was there, I was awake. I've been awake for like 10 years, and when I am there, and I bring. The Mandela wasn't really there. It was the flat Earth thing that I was really focused on back, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And when I brought that up to them, they couldn't see it. So, and I'm like, it is what it is. I know I sound like a nut, but I have a strong feeling that I think people have always been taught what to think. They don't know how to think. So that being the case, they can't make their own decisions anymore. They just wait for somebody to tell them what to think, and that comes on TV, it's true, apparently, right?
Well, everybody just falls in line. The critical thought is not taught.
Exactly.
And people are actually get triggered against anything critical thought. They don't even have to be brainwashed on each topic. It's just like you talk about something that you applies critical thought or speaks out against the system at all, and they fucking lose it.
Exactly. Just like that CBS thing, right? Remember when they showed Syria attacking another country, right? Showing all that firepower, and it was a damn event. And what was it, Kentucky? was a Kentucky gun show that was. You remember? You know what I'm talking about?
Nah, I don't even remember, but it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. If you go to RFB's channel, he talks about it.
okay.
But there was an event, and it was in Kentucky, and it was a gun show, and it was at night, and they showed the crowd there, right? A lot of live fire, a lot of the explosions. That's what is ABC used for that war footage, saying, you know, one country was attacking another country. And instantly people are like, no, that's the gun show that I went to.
Yeah, and look, let's go way back. And I mean, look at the Charles Jacob clip when they said that Saddam was doing the fucking chemical attacks over there in Kuwait. And it was a totally fake clip inside a fucking studio with a fake tree and a fucking fan blowing it and fucking a whole shebang, dude. It's fucking crazy how much they fabricate reality, you know?
Yeah, I remember that, where they were putting the gas, they had the little military helmets on and the gas masks they were throwing on left and right. I'm like, man, what a joke. It's so fake.
It looks so
Did
fake.
people from NASA actually go over there and start doing filming there because they're idiots?
It looks so
it's
so
not
fake,
even
it must be
real.
It looks so fake it must be real, right?
Yeah.
Dude, people believe there's
I
a
don't
red
know.
people believe there's a red convertible in space. So I mean, what do you say to that? It's fucking
Oh yeah, just right there. If it's 250 degrees below or above zero, right? I'm like, can't you see that everything on it would either be, you know, have frost all over it or be in flames, one of the two. And I think they do that just to see how ignorant the American people really are. Now I know that sounds crazy, but I think they're tests just like that deal that was on the news, you know, where they actually got caught faking video, you know, of an actual war that's not happening. I'm like, normally Americans should be on the street, you know, with pitchforks at this point, but apparently you can do whatever you want nowadays.
Yep. But hey, I'm going to want to make one more point or question, then I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break and we're going to come right back.
Oh no, I'm good. I just wanted to touch base and say thanks for doing what you're doing and keep it up.
Hey, and thank you for coming to Flattoberfest.
All right. Hey, no problem. I'll come again when it's close.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Karen, let's take a 5-minute break, okay?
Okie dokie.
Be right back, guys. Dose of reality.
Funny game, don't believe that it's all the same. Just think what I just said, but there's something on my head.
DatPiff.com, world stream. Run bad lane with the top back. Speed no brakes with the gas at. Quicker than cop, push your cat back. So you already know where the strap at. Man, you already know when you're in beast mode. Man, you already know a nigga past that. Everybody falls flat. Man, you already know a nigga plastic. You already know. You already know. You already know. I can tell you cause you already know. You already know. You already know. You already know. I can tell you, but you already know. I'm just sick of running with my hands up. I'm just fucking naughty bands up. Stuff a man, I don't demand much. I'm just trying to roll these grams up. What you wanted me to say to you? Give you something to awaken you? Find a topic that's conveyable. A prophecy that's inescapable. This the world that they portray to you. Sovereignty is unattainable. Justice too is unavailable. The judge's ruling is persuadable. Slavery is generational. Who you worship, who you praying to. Watch these fakers what they say to you. You see the truth is unmistakable. No, they wouldn't lie to me, dog. No, they wouldn't lie to me, bro. No, they wouldn't lie to the world. No, they wouldn't lie under oath. Right. No man can be high as the law. The law that was sworn to uphold. It's too late, the door's been closed. Too many stories been told.
It's a funny game.
Stories been told.
Believe that it's all the same. Just think what I just said.
Stories been told.
There's something on my head.
Too many stories been told. Facts. Started out for the love of the soul. Woke up and saw the blood on the phone. Woke up and see the sun, it was cold. Wondering where the fuck did I go wrong? Where's the time gone? Where's the time gone? Lost in the time zone. Must got the time wrong. Where does the time go? I don't wanna die alone. Don't wanna die alone. die alone. Yeah, at a glance, you'll never truly understand. Cascading thoughts will form an avalanche. Eventually, the shit gon' hit the fan. Niggas that sick of suffering got demand. Climb up the mountain just so we can stand. Big brother, hang you off it by your pants. No more religious and no more religious. The people that put the law above the land. It's a scam, like Iraq and Iran, Afghanistan. Created targets, created martyrs, democracy artists. Good-hearted people enlisted to fight. But the system has stripped all your rights. And the pictures delivered in doses so potent that when they're administered, people turn sinister. The retina, the all-seeing retina, the mark of the beast, the mark of the predator. God bless America. God bless the regular, far from the regular. Don't kill the messenger, bats.
Oh, it's a funny game. Don't believe that it's all the same. Just think what I just said. But there's something on my head.
Run bad lane with the top back. Speed no brakes with a gas at. Quicker than cop, push your cat back. So you already know where the strap at. Man, you already know when you're in beast mode. Man, you already know a nigga past that. Everybody falls flat. Man, you already know a nigga blessed. You already know. You already know. You already know. I can tell you cause you already know. You already know. You already know. You already know. I can tell you, but you already know.
These are the tales, the silly tales. These are the tales NASA likes to tell. They've been enslaving mankind all this time, and we all know they'll be going to hell. See, I made up my mind when I was 33. I ain't with all the shit that they're feeding to me. I've been a slave for life. It don't feel right. People are in awe when Neil drops his mic. Many aren't just trolling, they're showing like Rogan. But a higher power above has more hope for us, man. NASA bitches running space have so much greed. How is it possible that the public can't see? All
right, everyone. Welcome back to Dose of Reality. Let me just get my screen up. All right. Thank you for sticking with us during the break. I'm back. Let me get my phones back open. And then you guys can call in. 1 second. All right. All right. Give a ring, ding dong. 978-435-0006. I'll move this phone thing down. Any questions from the chat? I know, guys, I haven't checked the chat. I do when I can. When I can't, I can't. If I'm doing more of the talking, I really can't be looking at the chat. Somebody calling. Somebody said great calls tonight. Yeah, we get the best callers on this show. Fucking hands down. I mean, it's not always perfect.
Give a ring, ding dong.
Hey,
978.
Hey, turn the volume down.
0006.
Really, guy? Guy, volume. All right, we're gonna hang up on that guy. Peace. Dose of Reality. You're on with Brian and Karen. Who's this?
Hey, what's up? This is MJ.
MJ, what's up, man?
Michael Jordan in the house. What y'all doing?
What's up, Michael Jordan? It's good.
Hey, shit, man. What's the topic? What y'all want to talk about?
Have you not been watching the show?
No, I just jumped in like 5 minutes ago.
Well, you called in, so you tell us what do you want to talk about. You.
All right, let's talk about these eclipses. What do you think about an eclipse? How does it work?
How does it work?
How does an eclipse work?
I'm not really sure. Karen, you want to go first? Since I've been doing most of the talking.
Solar or lunar?
Karen, what's up, Karen?
She asked you solar or lunar.
What's up? Is it solar or lunar eclipse you want to talk about?
Either or, really. Lunar, maybe though. Lunar eclipse.
Lunar, yeah. Well, Lunar, I would say, would have to do with something else that's in the sky that we don't know about. Something,
Right. That's what
something that could be over the very center.
Right. Like what?
Some sort of electromagnetic anomaly over the center that when the sun and the moon align at certain points, it polarizes the light and it creates this shadow, which then turns red. And shadows aren't typically red, right? So, but if you take three polarized filters,
Usually it's not red. You don't see a red shadow usually.
well, when you have a total lunar eclipse, that's what it is, right? The moon turns like this reddish, orangish color, right?
Well, you're talking about like maybe like a blood moon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's usually not red. It is sometimes though. That's cool. But this object,
way it works.
Can we see it? Can we see it with a telescope?
Can you see what with a telescope?
The anomaly that you're talking about, or some people would
this object,
or if it's another object in the sky that's indeed causing the eclipse, which is what it appears like.
No, you can't see it with a telescope. I don't even know that you can see it in the normal light spectrum, because if it's an electromagnetic anomaly, it might not even be within the visible light spectrum, and we might not even know what spectrum to look at it for. You know, I don't know.
Okay, well, if
it's like saying, can you see a magnetic field? You know, not unless you have like some sort of viewer in front of you.
Cast a shadow?
That's what I'm saying. It polarizes the light. Have you looked at two polarized filters where you turn one 45 degrees and one 50 degrees, and it blocks the light out?
There's light coming from the moon? Are you saying some light is coming from the moon?
Well, the light that you see coming from the moon.
Well, yeah, but that's not light from like the moon doesn't actually cast light. It's actually reflecting light.
So,
well, there's no proof of that. Actually, I think it's more fluorescing than reflecting.
Let me interject. So you believe we live on a globe, right?
Well, of course. My name is Michael Jordan, and
all right, no. So why don't we address the ground that we're standing on rather than the eclipse, and why don't we see curvature anyway? So we've been waiting 5 years for that.
Well, because y'all didn't have a topic to talk about, and that's the one I brought up. I first asked, what topic do you want to talk about? So I brought the one I want to talk about.
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk about why does NASA and other agencies fake images and video of a curve if it's always there and they could just not do that?
So you think the live feeds of the ISS is faking the curvature? You think that's like a fake live stream?
Yeah, absolutely. The question is whether if they use, I know a lot of people say that's a fisheye lens. I tend to think most of the backdrops of the Earth we see is just a fucking screen, in my opinion. But yeah, that's absolutely fake. Why, you believe that the ISS is legit, dude?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what's so funny about that? I mean, do you have reason to believe that it is fake?
How about when they're reaching up to grab things that aren't there and they materialize right in front of their face, and then they pretend that they're playing things in anti-gravity? What about that?
Oh, you mean like the glitches in the live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of live stream. I mean, it's poor connection, I guess.
So a poor connection might make, let's just say you want to say a little graphical glitch or something. I'm talking about teddy bears and shit appearing out of thin air conveniently when they go to reach for them, buddy. That's not a glitch. That's fucking fake.
What do you mean? Teddy bears appearing on the ISS out of nowhere?
Yeah.
You got a video of that? Looks legit. With timestamps and everything.
Dude, you can go and timestamp all the stuff. The flat earthers aren't the one that's faking everything. We get all this shit from the fucking people from the NASA people and from the ESA. They're the ones that put all this shit out.
Well, it sounds like you're getting a little frustrated, but you talking about teddy bears appearing on the ISS out of nowhere with no timestamps is a little off topic.
Little off topic. We would just talk. You saying the ISS is legit. Now I'm going to show you the footage because you were expecting me to say no. I don't have that. But just give me a second.
Right.
My media player is loading
Yeah.
up right now, pal.
Does
There
it
you
have
go.
timestamps, like where the timestamp doesn't skip, like as the teddy bear is coming in?
Look, here you go. Now I had listen.
Okay, hold
listen.
on.
Now listen.
Let me go back to chat because I was on my phone here. Let me go back to the chat. And see.
We've had so many fake clips of NASA that after this being out for so long, we can't remember the fucking timestamp for every video. But every time we put them out, if people would just go look, and this is from the ESA. This is in their footage.
Okay, I'm looking in chat and I don't see any links to anything.
Dude, it's on the screen for people to watch. It's not in the chat.
Oh, well, put it in the chat because I'm on my phone. Like I don't have a computer on me right now.
You know what? I don't have a link for it because it's a video I have saved. So you'll have to go back and watch.
Okay, well, I'll take your word on that. Like I'll assume that teddy bear came out of nowhere and there's no timestamps on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but what else to talk about though? I didn't call to like get you bad or nothing. I just wanted to have a conversation with y'all.
No, that's cool, but I mean,
And Karen B is awesome too.
Okay, but it's weird to call in and because I'm gonna let somebody else call in because you weren't even listening to the show.
Well, why? Because you dodged my subject.
No, because
and then
this
went
is
to
a
yours,
fucking.
and then now you want to get rid of me.
Yeah, because this call sucks. Peace out. It's my show, bitch. Later. Okay, next 978-435-0006. Done with that. He can go fuck himself. I did tell him. Said peace out, bitch. That's what I have to say about that. Somebody else call in 978-435-0006. Oh, I knew I was getting trolled once his attitude on the eclipses. And that's why I wanted Karen to answer it, obviously to bring her back more in the conversation. Plus, she can speak on it a lot better than I can. Just fucking end it. And then he kept going, and I'm like, all right, I know where this is going. You believe we live on a fucking globe. Dude, he said the ISS is legit. I mean, come on. Dose of reality.
Dude.
Who's this?
Christian.
Oh, I thought you were that globe troll again that I just hung up on, the fucking bitch.
Oh, dude, that was painful.
Yeah, that was real painful right there, that last part, right?
You should have seen the chat. Everyone was like, dump this dude.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, dude, I know right from the start, anybody that calls into my show and is like, what are we talking about? It's gone south already. Hold on, let me hang up on this ignorant person. You're done. Okay, go ahead, Christian. What's
It's Michael.
It's Michael. His name's Michael Jordan.
Who calls into a show and says, what are we talking about? Like, that seems crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like, I just want to make sure, is Karen still there?
Yes, I'm still here. I was getting tea. I was coming back.
Good, Christian. You talk to Karen for a second now, and I'll get my coffee. Now that we're going to sub in and out, okay?
No. I want to talk to you, too. I want to talk to both of you. But I just wanted to make sure she didn't, like, check out for the evening.
No, she better not. It's not even late yet.
I'm still here.
She's been sleeping all week.
Jeez, we go like 7 hours around here.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, she made it 5 hours. She made it 5 hours that night. That was epic.
Yeah, I know that was really fun. But hey, listen, are you getting up, or can you? I wanted to talk to you about. First thing is the Mandela jet engines.
Yeah, why are you flipping me off,
All right,
Karen?
I thought you were going.
No, well, I want to stop my
there,
coffee. Right? I mean, I want to stop my coffee. Can you give me 30 seconds so I can just throw the water on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll talk to Karen.
Yeah, talk to Karen.
Karen?
She's interesting.
Yeah, I know she's interested. I'm like totally interested in that like tree behind your house or whatever. I don't even know where I saw that, but it was like someone talking about a race car driver and stuff like that.
Oh,
I did have
Sergeant posted that on his channel.
Yeah, that's what I was watching.
You're sub to Mark Sargent, and you probably saw it.
So you guys thought you were at Big Daddy Garlitz's house, right? Because there was a lot of clues that led you to believe that it was Big Daddy's house.
That is the conclusion that they came to with Mark when they were there before I got there. I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I'm not familiar with the guy.
Couldn't it just be that like whoever owns that house is a Big Daddy fan?
It could be.
You know,
It could
like
be.
it was a nice house. It was in a neighborhood. It looked like and everything like that. But it seemed like a
It was
little
very nice.
to
And like
assume that-
some parts of the house were all locked off that you couldn't get to, and you couldn't open the garage, which is probably why they thought there maybe there were cars being stored in there. I don't know.
That sounds like Big Daddy. But awesome job, and like streaming all the stuff, and it was just so cool to watch everyone in the house hanging out and stuff like that, and then to watch all the talks. It is really awesome to give Rob Skiba the long format there. You know, that's not an opportunity that a lot of people get. Is like, you know, okay, start from the beginning, you know, and that's what he totally did. He was like, you know, I was born at a very young age, you know, and it's like, wow, this guy's like really going.
I was born at a very young age.
I didn't even notice that he said that.
No, I just said that, but that's the way he seemed to like start the whole thing, was like, you know, I was the son of a, you know, and like I was
He
2
started
years
from the beginning, yeah.
he went all the way back, and then he ended it with like what he's looking for in the future, which I thought was really cool. But okay, so you remember your whole live stream with Blaze, right? From Need Input.
Well, we did 3 of them. So do you mean the first one on his channel? Do you mean the 6-hour one on my channel with me and him about the jet engines, or do you mean the one we did on the Dirty channel about the fake shootings?
The jet engines.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole thing was that these planes are actually falling out of the sky because of like some like crazy design change that has happened or something like that.
Yeah, there were a couple, and then they blamed it on a design change supposedly that Boeing made, but in reality, it's not just Boeing; it's every manufacturer.
And
there's no
huge
design change. If you go look, there is no change. It's like fucked up. So go ahead.
Well, there is actually something pretty dramatic in the tail section, and that is that like the horizontal, I think it was the horizontal stabilizer, which is normally just like fixed
it flaps
into the back of the airplane, is now on a swivel.
Yeah.
So that it can point down to compensate for an alteration of the center of gravity of the airplane.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest Mandela for me, was that they actually have gone and rethought this whole thing and have come to a conclusion that we need to actually make the tail fin pivot, you know, up and down, like it's the dolphin fin. It's that, you know, the horizontal one that's normally just like fixed on
It's
these
like
things.
this now, dude.
It can
It's
go
crazy.
like up to 5 degrees or 7 degrees of you know, and that's to actually keep them from falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
And that freaks me out a little bit, because that's another system that has to be working flawlessly in order for people to make it to their destination safely. You know, it's like another thing has to be linked into the whole CPU and has to be aligned with all of the different sensors and stuff like that. And that that in the past, like it was locked in place and was never a variable that had to be like calculated for with technology or by the pilot or anything like that.
Yeah. That's crazy, huh? And
that's really crazy.
I
that
wonder
shows
if
you that some
pilots, I wonder
really
if the,
did happen.
Yeah, and I wonder if the pilots are mentally having to make any, you know, if they're having to make any plot anything different or make any adjustments that have to do with that vertical stabilizer. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do, just like the doctors and everything. They're not committing malpractice on everybody with all the anatomy changes. They're just taking the new information like it's always been there. It's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Fokker last night. Okay. And he like starts out his show and he's, talking about, just kind of the state of the, flat earth, situation, and just like, NPCs and things that people are just not really jumping on board. People are not showing up for the, people are willing to kind of say that they are flat earth, but they're not willing to like engage people. And it just kind of was like, he was kind of unloading a whole bunch of stuff. And I get the fact that he's going through a bunch of stuff and everything, but this guy connected to his stream, his name was like Ron Sheckelson or something like that. Ron, he's from Detroit.
He jumped on Mac's stream last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was on there for like an hour and a half or something like that. It was like, it was pretty amazing because he was like really kind of showing up with like a whole bunch of optimism about where all this is going. And, he looked at kind of the things that he's engaged in online. And, he talks about these services that he's involved in and these younger Gen Z kind of hangout spots and these people that are kind of getting activated. And he spends 12 hours, he said, 10 to 12 hours, like just engaging people in these online environments.
Yeah.
And he has this mass enthusiasm for where we are right now, at like basically talking about it like, the pot is simmering and, they're scrambling to kind of put the lid back on this thing. But like, we're very close to kind of a critical mass where some of these online sites that have 500,000 or 1 million subscribers could like, or a few stars coming out and saying some, amazing things along the lines of a flat earth, that it could be the tipping point that, but he was just talking about very practical approaches that he has taken and how it's a long game that we're involved in and stuff like that. And I just felt like, I just felt like this guy's optimism just kind of like bowled over any kind of funk that Fokker might have been in.
Awesome.
And, I just, it was like he had suggestions for things that people could do to engage other people. And there seems to be an echo somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it's probably not on my end because I've got like an earbud in.
I don't know.
In any case, I had a suggestion or an idea that I wanted to ask Karen about because of her experience throwing events together.
Sure, go ahead.
Karen, are you there?
Go ahead and ask her, and I'm going to run and grab my
I
call.
am.
Listening, Christian. I'll be 30 seconds.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Karen, like I'm totally into music and everything like that. And one of the things that I thought about was like, there are so many cities and places that people live that they have never experienced like face-to-face interaction with flat earthers, right? And that's one of the awesome things that you guys have been talking about with Flattoberfest, where you get to like really make something, like real, where in the past it was just an online, and it makes it so much more powerful, the relationship you have with these people and everything like that. And, there's like this sense of isolation, like just being, alone with your ideas about the world and not knowing anyone in your family or around you in your town or whatever that you can talk to about, So I was thinking about, the event that you had there. And I was thinking, what if we had like a bus that went around on like a 2-week tour, like 14 days, 14 different cities. And it was like, 40 people, let's say, are on this bus, and there's musical stuff that's going on. Like there's, you know, people, everyone maybe has some kind of instrument, because like it'd be ideal if you could actually roll up to a bar somewhere in, let's say, Denver, or let's say Phoenix or something like that, and actually 40 people unload from a bus, and all the people from the surrounding suburbs and everything like that can come on in and actually have a big, like, awesome powwow with 40 people that, like, you know, you share, like, and you get this kind of like mass effect of, you know, bonding with these folks. And then like that night, the bus takes off for the next city, you know? Mm-hmm. And so like in 2 weeks, we could hit 14 cities and just make it like, you know, there might be camping spots along the way, or you could jump on the bus and off the bus, or like there might be a whole bunch of different scheduling things. But if you had like a 14-day road show that went looped around the country and just like unloaded a whole bunch of flat earthers in that particular city, and then, you know, had this great fellowship with the people in the suburbs and everything that could come in and like be there for the event. And then like, you know, if there's a band, or if there's like some music at a bar or something like that, that would be awesome. If there are, you know, maybe there are parks where people can unload and, you know, enjoy the nature. Like you could kind of do different things along the way, I guess. But the whole idea is that there'd be like a core group of folks on a bus that would kind of like, you know, roll into a major metropolitan area and just like interface the, like, you know, and Fokker is a great guy. I mean, honestly, that guy, I've seen him kind of like engage people. He's really amazing at it. And I think a lot of people would get really jazzed up with the amount of like interfacing that they could do with, you know, regular people that might be questioning stuff. And just like, you know, the part of the mission is to meet other flat earthers, but part of the mission is also to just kind of evangelize the whole thing. So maybe there's like a whole bunch of people at the bar that are not flat earthers, but they see 80 people there, you know, and they're all cool people. And all of a sudden they start talking in these conversations about like, wow, maybe I don't live on a spinning pear.
Yeah, you know? You mean like a group bus load of people, right? So then what? Then everybody would stay at what, hotels along the way, or what?
Well, I mean, you could go anywhere from rugged to not so rugged, right? Like rugged would be like you hop on a bus and you crash, and then like maybe there's some camping along the way or something like that. Like you pull into a camp spot and people roll out sleeping bags and tents and stuff. Or it could be that you roll into hotels. That's kind of like the brainstorming. Is I just kind of see it as a road show, like a bus that's kind of going around. The logistics, and how would you like get into some kind of venue in all of the different cities that might be, you know, putting together 14 cities and having a venue that you could stop at each night would be maybe challenging. Yeah. You know, you could have people that show up and they're on the thing for 3 days. They go from like Boston to New York to Washington or something like that, you know, and then they hop off and then they go back home or something like that, you know. And you could have people that kind of pop in and pop out, but the whole idea would be that a bus with a pretty core group of people, you know, that have a lot of enthusiasm for what they believe in and stuff like that, to just roll into a city and meet all the folks that have never met anyone before, you know?
Yeah, well, that'd be a lot harder to do, though. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of people putting up hotels. But the thing that'd be really cool about that would be if you had so many people roll up to a public place at once, you'd maybe could get a lot of people to listen. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're like, wow, look at all these people. I mean, that is kind of like what the Globe Live Tour is doing. I mean, but then they're staying in a RV. I mean, it's similar, same thing, basically.
Yeah, I could. Where are they? Do they unload at different spots along the way? That what's the kind of agenda that they have? They go around in an RV and then they.
Christian, have you not been fucking watching?
No, I've seen a variety of different videos, but I guess I don't I haven't put the whole mission together yet.
They're literally doing exactly what you're saying, except with less people, so they're sleeping in the RV.
Okay.
Yeah, they're literally doing the exact same thing.
But we do need a US version.
When the Globe Live tour comes to Boston, because I want to meet these guys.
Well, it's just in Europe and the UK, so there would have to be. Now, what you're talking about is something that people are maybe whispering about, maybe setting up over here. So there does need to be one over here in the US. But the ideas that you're saying, it's basically what they're doing, except not a bus full of 40 people. You know what I mean? And they have switched out people at different spots as well after a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, like right now, Dave Murphy's on there, but he wasn't on there at the beginning. So they have been switching people out like that as well.
I mean, that's amazing to have some like heavy hitters that might roll into a city and, like really, do you know how many people like come out to like meet up with these guys or?
It's random.
I guess I'll
yeah, it's random, bro. Some town squares have a few people. Sometimes they had, 40, 50 people standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is the whole idea is flat smacking?
Yeah.
Okay. So my idea is a little different than flat smacking. My idea is more fellowship based.
Okay.
It's more to draw people that like have never met a flat earther in real life to come on out from maybe even drive an hour away from Minneapolis or wherever, and just like come on down to like meet some people and really get energized, because like that's what this guy Ron was all about. Like it's like energizing people. And I think that flat smacking is one thing, getting people to wake up, trying to like really go after the people that are like totally asleep, just walking along the street. And I think this is a little bit different. This is like rolling into a bar, having a band roll out, singing songs, having people like, just talking, having a great time for an evening. And then the bus kind of like packs up and moves on, and everyone starts showing up in chat rooms and stuff like that. The network keeps growing, exponentially, hopefully.
Yeah.
But so I guess it has like a slightly different twist to that, but I'll definitely look more into to what they're doing.
Yeah, you really need
appreciate
to. Yeah, you need to, because you're pretty much describing what they've literally been doing for the last month. And everybody's like, dude, have you not been watching? Check out Jason of the Disbury family. Check out his channel. He's been doing the most consistent streams the whole time. And make sure you sub and bell to Roxanne, because every night she does like an update, and then tons of other channels are chopping up and showing highlights and stuff. But pretty much, dude, every day from about 8 a.m. till about noon our time, and it might be shifting now because they're moving around a little bit, but they've been going live on his channel, and it's been crazy to watch. But yeah, but all right, Christian, what's that?
Does it appear like a lot of people come on out and meet them down there and stuff like that?
It depends on the city. Some of them know, some of them, really busy. And when it's really busy, it's fascinating, and you get to see all these people out there. You see Dave out there. Mark Sargent was out there for a day. I mean, there's been all sorts of people out there.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right,
brother. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Good talking to you.
All
See you,
right, bye.
Karen.
See you later.
And thanks, Christian, for describing the globe lie tour to us. I gotta bust his balls, but it's funny. Like, what do you think we've been talking about? We've been watching it for the last month and a half. I mean,
I know. My sticker's on the Globe Live bus.
yeah, it is. His no, but his idea is good. I mean, you have even more people, and then maybe kind of almost take over a bar or an event or something. But it's like there is a lot more cost if you're putting all these people and they can't sleep on the bus. But yeah, no, ideas like that are good. And Christian needs to come to the next event and play some music. You know?
Yes.
Deborah says, Brian, when are you going back on with Roxanne again? Deborah, once everything slows down, I'll have Roxanne over here for her interview. We'll kind of just wait until everything's not so busy with all the conferences and stuff. And then she'll be coming over here for her awakening interview. Dose of Reality, you're on with Brian and Karen. Who's this?
This is your mama talking to you. What are you doing, Brian? This is Carla.
Oh, hi, Carla.
Hey, I'm like, I'm on my third quart of Bloody Marys. Imagine that.
Oh, well, you can rather talk to your alcoholic friend over here, Karen. Keep her away.
I was drinking. I thought Karen was drinking. She said tea, and I thought she said Long Island iced tea. So I was triggered into making myself a drink. So I'm going to blame it all on Karen.
Your drinking problems are definitely Karen B's.
Well, yeah, I got to blame it on somebody. So anyway, yeah, me and Jen are going to go on, well, it's not a road tour. We're going to do a sky tour. So we're taking up a GoFundMe.
Wait, when you say Jen, just so everybody knows, you mean Truth Seeker 69,
Truth Seeker 69, yeah. We're going to go on a sky tour. So we are going to take up a GoFundMe. And it's going to be the Mile High, Red Pill, and Truth Seeker tour. And we're going to pick up hot pilots and get their opinions on the globe Earth.
Are you guys gonna get laid? Are you gonna join the Mile High Club?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. So if you guys want to donate, just hit me up on my channel. Woohoo! So anyway, Karen, what an awesome, amazing job. I have not talked to you since Oktoberfest. I watched probably 7 hours. I had calluses on my ass and on my elbows from watching the show. It was so great. It was really good.
Excellent. I'm glad you liked it. Yay.
Yay, I know. I mean, it was so good. I felt like I was there. It was so good. The live stream was great. The audio was great. The video was great. Everything was awesome. It was fun. You made everybody in the audience feel like we were there. Brian and you jumping in and talking to us made us all feel like we were a part of it. I wish I could have been there. I hope I can go next year because the speakers were awesome. The music was incredible. It was a blast. We had as much fun on our end. Well, probably not because I saw the 6-hour show in the basement.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to air that after this tonight. So anybody that's wondering, yeah, it's ready to go on the Real News Online channel. We're going to play that. It's not going to play on them. Yeah.
Dude, I got to dig out more vodka because I take a shot every time that you say the F word. So
yeah, right. You'd be dead already. You'd be fucking dead, bitch.
Anyway, no, I just wanted to say just how much we enjoyed it. We had a blast. We were having a party while you guys were having a party.
Awesome.
And while you guys were watching, we were listening in, and people were, even people that weren't mods in the chat were saying, "Shut up, we're listening." There were a lot of trolls in and out, and they were trying to ruin it for everybody. But there were a lot of people that were on board saying, "Look, like myself, I couldn't afford to go. I wanted to be there. It was so educational. I wish I could have retained 1/10 of the information that was provided to us, but I just don't have it brain capacity." So,
well, it's been recorded, so you can always go back.
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was awesome, Carl, because I got to actually meet a lot of these people. I mean,
I'm
people,
sure.
obviously Karen's my co-host, so obviously I want to meet her. And, you know, I've been following Bob's stuff, since he started, and Mark Sargent and Rob Skieber. I mean, to meet all these people, it was pretty cool because, like, we're all just regular people and we're all just fucking hanging out. And it's like, it's cool to just sit down and shoot the shit about other shit, not about flat earth, just about whatever, you know? And just to get people.
Yeah, that was awesome because we look at them as celebrities, and to be able to see everybody as real people was just, it just gave us a better connection to them. And a lot of us, I don't think we would have had that opportunity to do that if Karen hadn't brought everybody together. So it was super, super cool because, you just think these people are like, they're untouchable and they're so much smarter. They're so much more highly connected to this whole thing than we are. But, when you sit down and you're able to watch and you're able to hear them in one-on-one conversations, you realize that they're just real people. They just have committed more time to this than we have. And we have so much to learn from them if we just listen. So, a lot of times I just think, we're always getting silly in chat, but sometimes we just need to sit back and be quiet and just listen because there's so much to learn from these people that have put years and years and years of hard work into this because I'm a baby in this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I thought you were
anyway,
at. Well, you picked up Flat Earth quick because I thought you were at Flat Earth for years. But didn't you tell me that you didn't? I turned you on to it. Didn't you tell me that?
Well, no, dude. Years and years ago, I had a friend introduce me to it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's way out there." And then there was a video that was put out a couple of years ago. I think it was like the beginning of 2018. I think it won the best truther documentary for 2017. It was by Awake Souls, Team Yahawashi or something like that. Somebody turned me on to it. Little bald guy with glasses, really short, little skinny bald guy. He's got glasses. Awake Souls is all that comes to mind. But it was probably the most amazing documentary I ever saw. And it was about biblical cosmology, but I was really never on board until I started listening to people like Karen B and Mark Sargent, but I think you were kind of the key to it all. I needed somebody in our community to kind of bring it together, to build that bridge, to throw me that life jacket or whatever it was, to make me realize that it wasn't over the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're on the outside looking in, you don't feel like it's real. But when you can connect with other people through someone who you already have a connection with, then it starts to make sense to you. And that's what people need to appreciate is that we have to keep an open mind. That doesn't mean that our minds have to be so open that we allow shit to fall into it. But, at the same time, we have to use discernment, but at the same time, I don't think you would purposely ever lead us in the wrong direction. And you have led me into a lot of directions that I think the community needs to at least take a look at.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that they have to agree with it, that they have to dive in head first, but you have to, open yourself up a little bit. Don't be so one-dimensional because I really believe that there is so much that's connected.
Yeah.
And every day I see more connections.
Yeah. No, that's the whole point. And that's why, I knew after I did a bunch of Mandela videos and you guys all see how legit they are, I could make Flat Earth resonate with you. And I know how to cross the different topics because they're all connected. So there's different things people will see if you just know how to fucking point it out to them,
Right. Man, and Christian, I just, I love me some Christian Knapp. I can't help myself. I just love that boy. He's so awesome. Christian is so great. And that is so cool that you guys live streamed his music that night for all those hours. Yeah. Christian's so much fun. And we had a blast just in his chat the other night. listening to him playing music, and he can on the fly make up some lyrics.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Yeah.
So
It's fucking
anyway,
awesome.
I won't keep you guys. I just want to say, Karen, how much I appreciate what you did for everybody. I am so bummed I couldn't be there, but I am going to try to be there next year because like I said, I'm like a baby in this whole thing. And every time I hear a new speaker or I go on to a new live stream that I was never on before, I just feel like, it's just like getting smacked in the face with truth. It's like boom, boom, boom. So it's such a good thing. And there's so much that I don't know that I can't wait to learn the next best thing. So that's what Karen has brought to us anyway. And I think pretty much everybody in the chat can agree what a great bonus she is. So if Ace McLeod is saying next caller, I'm coming to Colorado to whoop his ass. So anyway, I love you guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
All right.
Love you too.
All right, babe. Bye.
Pack it the fuck up. All right. Whoever was just calling, you can call in now. 978-435-0006. Yeah, so good call by Carla.
Yeah.
She's blaming you for her drinking habits.
That's okay. Go ahead.
All right, next caller, 978-435-0006. See, I debate on putting in the other phone system. So what do you think, Karen? Because right now, like, I could have had calls waiting, right? So like I could just go over to a call that was waiting. But if I use that type of phone system, that also means the calls will just kind of back up from the beginning of the show, and then they might start to talk off topic. What do you think is better to do? Just do it like this?
It's fine like this.
Dose of reality. You're on with the champ and the New Age Flat Earth Witch.
No doubt, bro. It's Burgos from New York.
Hey, what's up, Burgos?
What's good, my brother? Hello, Karen.
Hello.
Hi. What's going on, man? Crazy call earlier, huh?
Which one?
Mr. MJ.
The Globe guy?
Yeah.
What was his name? MJ? Something like that?
Well, his name was Michael Jordan. He thinks he's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
But he's really
what
a
crazy.
Yeah, he's really a fucking chump. But go ahead.
Yeah, the moment he said, what are we talking about? And you said, well, you haven't been listening to the show. And he said, yeah, I jumped in 5 minutes ago, which means he was waiting on your break.
I know. Either that or one of these assholes sent him over to my live stream, like has been happening a lot, you know?
Yeah, it felt like somebody sent him, or he sent himself something. Yeah, man, Brian and Karen, I've been thinking like these past few days about time travel and the Mandela effect.
Okay.
Looking at time travel as technology, of course, and then the Mandela effect as a phenomenon. So personally, I don't know what you guys think. Like, I don't think it's time travel, but it could be happening.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say time travel isn't possible. I don't know. I mean, everything's back on the table now till we eliminate it. But as far as that being the cause of the Mandela effect, I would eliminate that in my view, because if there was time travel and alternate timelines branched off from a certain point in the past or whatever, how would we have residue remaining? And if it was time travel, how would I see incremental changes just keep happening in front of me? I don't think that's what it is, but I'm not dismissing that time travel could be happening. That's my opinion.
Right. No, I excuse me. I agree with you 100%. The only way, let's everything on the table, right? The only way that it could be affecting our timeline is if you time travel to the past, right?
Yeah.
And it would throw us going forward to another timeline where the Mandela effect is still
but hey,
in effect.
Let's say you did this though. So let's say you went back in the past, right? Let's not even talk about let's forget about the residue problem for a minute. Let's say you go back in the past and you I don't know, you change something at Lucasfilms and you make C-3PO wear a silver leg on his costume, right? So it changes the future.
Oh, Black Tom, for example.
Okay, but
was,
how would time travel change the human anatomy, move continents?
Exactly. Like the globe, the plane, geo changes.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, that's time travel wouldn't do that unless it would throw us in a different timeline.
Yeah, but if we were on, and that's the thing though, if what's happening is old Earth, new Earth theories or jumping different timelines, then how come if me and you jump the timeline to see these changes, we don't agree on 100% of them?
Exactly.
I think it's all happening here and now. Karen, what do you think?
Yeah,
Possible?
do I think time travel is possible?
Yeah.
Personally, no, I don't.
Cool.
I don't think you can go to the
Yeah, I
you can go to the future. I think that's
in my opinion, anything is possible. After the Mandela effect, I believe anything is possible, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I just don't think time travel is tied to it at all. I really think it's our consciousness that's causing this.
Yeah, that's my opinion too. I think it's a collective consciousness. You know, I also have this opinion, personal opinion, of course. Could it be that we are all living within our independent realities within the same timeline?
Yeah. Of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, I even get confused when I think about it, but you know, like let's suppose you have your own bubble, which is your own reality, and I have my own. Karen has her own, and everybody else, and then we exist in the same timeline, and then our realities could change in 1 minute. You know, but you're still in the same timeline, and that's the reason why we don't agree on certain changes. For example, I don't think there's any deniers or haters. I just feel like it's really hard to open your eyes. You know, it takes you know, you have to be strong-minded to understand these things. That's why a lot of people like just refuse to see the changes, because it's really you know, you could go crazy, you know, thinking about these changes.
Yeah.
For example, they started happening to me before I even found out or learned about the Mandela effect. You know, so I don't think there's any deniers or anybody is a bad person. You know, like denying and being haters. I just think they just. I'm sorry, Brian. My mother's calling me. Hold on.
It's okay. It's okay. And look at the penguin trolls already coming. You guys can fucking suck a penis. Beat it.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like, what was I? Yeah, like, I don't think there's any haters or deniers. There is haters. Yeah, there is, of course. Trolls, we call them, and shills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not deniers, because some people are very slow in opening their eyes.
Yeah.
And also, some people take updates.
Yeah, but there's people that they'll admit the change and then they'll still deny it. They'll still deny that something's happening because they don't have the courage to talk about it.
Right, they don't have the courage, or they're maybe. I tend to think they're afraid.
Yeah.
Like they get intimidated, you know. Because let me tell you something, bro. If I woke up tomorrow and New York was spelled N-U York,
yeah,
I would freak the fuck out, bro.
Well, don't be surprised when it happens. Look what happened to Centerville.
Yes, exactly. I was comparing it to what happened to you, bro.
I was freaked
like
the fuck out. I was freaked the fuck out, and I'm over here. Never mind, like if that happened to you, to have the courage to come out about it, dude. I was already making videos and stuff, but it was hard for me to make a video on that.
It took you a while to make it. Yeah, you said it took like 3 months for you to calm down and
yeah.
And make a video about Centralville.
Yeah.
Centralville. I mean, Central, you know, big difference, man. Even the flags, at the
Yeah, the
monument,
flag on the monument is the old American flag.
exactly. You know, like one was the way we remember, and the rest were the current flag.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are things. These are hard things to accept.
Yeah.
You know. And what do you think about the double split experiment? Like, I don't want to like go too deep or waste too much time. I know there's other colors. Like when you're not looking a certain.
Well, I mean, I know people. For me, I mean if that's indeed true, I mean, it makes sense what you're saying. If we're reaching our own reality, then we would need to observe it for it to present itself, right?
You think so? Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because it took me a while. Like I've been thinking about that. The double split experiment, for example, when you're not looking at an object, for example, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But if you're not looking at it and you reach out,
Yeah.
you can still touch it.
Well, that goes along the lines of what Karen was saying, where she believes we're manifesting this these shifts and whatnot. We're probably, as a whole, manifesting the whole reality. You know.
Right.
Whole collective.
Yeah,
that's why when I talk about if people accept all these fucking fear events, like what's that doing to us? It's like, who's ever calling? Back the fuck up, bitch. Sorry, Virgos. Damn, people be rude, dude.
They're probably not even listening in this age. Let me call Brian and say hello.
The thing rings all day, dude. You don't even know. My voicemail is just, I don't ever check a voicemail on here, but it's full. Like, it's just all day this phone rings. Especially because I do premieres all the time. So people be calling when those shows are live. They think they're calling into that show. It's like.
That could be the reason why, yeah. Because even I get confused. Like, sometimes it says live, but it's a premiere.
Yeah.
Or something like that, but it's only a live chat. So I feel stupid when I'm like chatting, like sending you a message, and I'm thinking it's live.
Yeah, that's all right.
Somebody else comes and say on the chat, Burgos, it's not live, you know.
Everybody does it. No, I don't know if the double slit experiment is definitely real or not, but if it is, I mean, that doesn't. It could, it would back up some of what we're saying, but I know that could be used for other theories as well. I'm not saying that proves my theory on the Mandela effect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I know what you mean. But the double split experiment, for example, that will be more like simulation theory, right?
That's what some people want to lead you that way, but it could work for either. It could work for a lot of different theories.
Right, because the results were like when you're looking elsewhere, it saves memory.
Yeah.
Like the whatever it is, the software, the program saves memory when you look elsewhere, and then when you look back, you can see the tree. But if you're not looking at the tree doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But what if you're looking away and you reach out with your hand without looking? You can still feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But,
yeah.
All right.
So listen, you have a lot of calls.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking my call, Karen. Thank you for everything, and we'll talk later, bro. I'll keep calling.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Bro. Okay. All right. Good night. Bye.
All right. Now somebody can call 978-435-0006. Listen, why the fuck would anybody call when somebody's on? And yeah, like it's the double slit, not the double split, Burgos. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Come on, guys. Christian says North Shore Flat Earth is in the house. Christian, you might be the only one right now, but yeah. Yeah, Christian's not even far from here at all. Like maybe 40 minutes, dude? If that, 30 minutes.
Y'all should have a meetup.
Yeah, I know. We need to. All right. Here we go. I can only take the first call, so sorry about the second one. Dose of Reality. You're on with Brian and Karen.
Hey, it's Joseph Carrier. How's it going, man?
Who is it?
Joseph Carrier.
Oh, how you doing?
Joseph. Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, brother. What's going on?
Longtime fan. Karen's awesome.
Hang on a second.
I just had somebody else going.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up on them. Okay, go ahead.
That's cool. I just had a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about, and like I always make coffee in the morning, big coffee drinker, and I'm like looking at the big Folgers, and like just for a second, a couple of days ago, I saw the D. So as I was doing it, so I'm wondering, like, am I coming in and out? Like, did I see a different reality at that time? Or did I imagine it? It was just for a second, like I saw the Folgers with the D.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you know, we've seen things flip flop, but that didn't flip flop for everybody else recently. I would have heard about it. So that just kept flip flopping.
But it still has, I mean, it's still Folgers without the D for me. But just for a second, when I was making the coffee, I seen the D on it. And it was just a split second, you know?
Yeah, well, that would kind of, you know, I really think that this reality is just total in flux. Like I'm saying, I know not just the other theories we talked about, like the old Earth, new Earth, but there's a lot of people that talk about we're going to have a big shift tonight. You know, we had a big shift last week. I don't really agree with that. I think that it's just constantly always in flux. And yeah, maybe that was just popping back and forth for you. I really don't know. It's fucking crazy.
Like I'm in the the residue groups, you know, and I hear the people talking about like they're feeling the shifts and stuff. And I love everybody in the groups and all, but I don't really feel those kind of shifts.
Me neither. I don't feel the shifts. I don't get the ringing in the ears. There's a lot of stuff.
I don't get the ringing in the ears either.
I don't resonate.
I mean, but I've got a brother that I thought me and him, we used to talk about time travel. We used to, I mean, me and him are tight, but if I mention Mandela effect to him one more time, he's going to disown me. And this is a totally open-minded, a man with wisdom, and I can't figure out why he can't even discuss it. It's maddening, you know?
Yeah.
We're not talking an ignorant person. I mean, we're talking to some that, you know, we read The Man That Folded Himself back in 82, you know, and now he doesn't even want to, you know, it's one more thing quick, Brian, before I let you get on to other calls. I don't believe in coincidences, and I have met a girl, and I'm not going to say that I was talking to her about anything real like we do. I was actually just kind of trying to hook up with her, but she's in a divorce, and her husband, mother, died in the Pentagon, and I'm just like, red flag. There's no coincidences.
And you just met her after I did the video. You just met her like in the last few months since I did the video on it.
I met her in the last month.
Yeah.
She's been over. I don't talk to her about anything real. Like, you know, she just mentioned because she's going through a divorce, and she mentioned something about the Saudi king was going to give everybody another $8 million, and her ex-husband's mother died in the Pentagon, and I'm just thinking, nobody died in the Pentagon in my reality.
Yeah.
And here I meet this girl that, I mean, I'm not saying I was really trying to hit on her, but she's a cool chick, you know, and she says that, and I don't believe in coincidences, and I know I'll let the other calls come through, but if you get a chance, Facebook me or inbox me about this Pentagon thing, because it can't be a coincidence, Brian.
No, and go ahead.
I want to just say Karen that she was awesome, and I appreciate her being on the show, and sorry I didn't talk to her more.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very awesome, and I'll let you get on other calls, but I think there's something about this Pentagon thing, and we should look into it a little bit, Brian. All right?
Yeah, of course, man. 9/11 keeps changing with the effects. That's a crazy one. Like, remember when I did that Pentagon video and I asked everybody how many deaths, how many people said 0? I mean, it was like the whole chat was full of zeros, dude.
There was people picking up parts on the lawn. They were in a line picking up little parts but there was no ambulances. There was nobody freaking out. Remember, they were like, it was
Yeah.
weird. They were walking along, picking up
You seen the videos I showed of the hospital outside the Pentagon? They're just having a smoke break. I'm not even going to get too into that right now because I don't want to lose this fucking.
No, we don't need to go there. But this just can't be a coincidence. I'd love for somehow to connect that.
Listen,
down the road. It doesn't have to be soon.
Listen, even if she was completely bullshitting you, not only on the fact that the person's mother died, even if she was just making up that story for attention, the fact she would bring up that story to you like that is just fucking weird.
Yeah, and it wasn't. Like I said, I didn't talk about 9/11 to her. I mean, I'm trying to talk to her because I'm trying to hook up with her, and I'm talking about any bullshit, nothing real. And this all comes up. So I doubt very, very seriously that I think it happened in her reality is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I get any more, try to keep an eye on inbox. I'll try to give it to you. But I think in her reality, her mother-in-law really did die in the Pentagon, which we both know nobody died in the Pentagon. So I'm going to let you get the other callers. Karen, I want to say again, you're awesome. And I love you guys. And peace out.
Peace.
Bye. Adios.
Bye.
Okay, next caller. Guys, we can only do one at a time. And I answer the first one every time so far, so do what I can. 978-435-0006. I can't wait to watch the 6-hour stream after this. I might not make it through the whole thing, but first. Oh, I know you're not. You're fucking ready to pass out. We'll just take like 2 more calls and we'll wrap it up if they call quick. Guys, 978-435-0006. Is there anything you want to say before we get off? Before anybody calls? Anything we get into?
I don't know. Not really. What's today? Today's Thursday.
Yep. Well, you are going to Dallas, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Dallas.
When's that? Because there are people here that don't know. So when is that?
November 13th and 14th.
So that's just a couple weeks. What, 3 weeks? Yeah.
Let me check.
Dose of Reality, you're on with Brian and Karen. Who's this?
Yo, what's up, Brian? It's Dan.
Hey, what's up, man?
I just got a couple of questions here for, I'm watching some globalism basketball. And get this, like I've always known it, but in between the snippets, I'm talking microseconds and seconds, they show CGI Globers in between the commercials and the NBA, while the NBA is playing, while the commentators are commentating.
Yeah.
They do little CGI snippets in between the play.
Hang on. Fuck, hang on.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. They're just ringing in constantly when people are calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I do love the new stylized platform, and it's way better than the Penguin Trolls. And I do have some questions about Facebook because I've been getting banned a lot, and I know you're experienced on that.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd ask you.
I got a lot of experience. Go ahead.
So I got banned for 3 days recently. In my own group, I was banned, and it said I couldn't post any.
I'm sorry, but these are probably the same fucking Penguin Trolls that keep coming in the chat.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Go ahead.
But so friggin'. So I couldn't send any messages over. I couldn't send links. I couldn't send any links in my group. I couldn't post in my group. But the weird part was I couldn't send any links anywhere to anyone. And I couldn't reshare. And so I'm like, man, that stinks. So then that just wore out. And now I got another. That's because I simply just called someone a bitch. Just don't call someone a bitch in your Facebook group. Don't call someone a bitch. They'll report you. Don't do that. It's a rookie mistake. And also, so my 7-day ban, which I just got today, don't say evil or disgusting anymore. You're not allowed
Wow.
to say these words. I got banned today on Facebook for another week for calling Miley Cyrus evil and disgusting, verbatim, literally. And I'm banned for a week.
That's crazy.
So just don't use the word. Don't call anyone evil or disgusting. That's literally all I said. I go. It was some random post, and I said Miley Cyrus is disgusting and evil, and I got banned for a week. So I'm like, wow, this is getting ridiculous at this point.
Especially-
So my question was, how should I make a backup account? Because I know you have a lot.
Oh, you could just go and create another account, just set it up with another email, and that's about it, man. I mean, it's just as easy as
just use my regular email that I already have, or another email.
just
You have
use
to
that.
use a new email.
You have to use another one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Yeah,
All
I've
right.
had so
Then
many
I'll create a new email then, because I never even wanted to. I don't have one single backup account
Well,
except for on my
when you
YouTube.
make it backup, what you want to do when you make it backup, I don't know if your posts, if tagged posts are already on approved for your wall, but you want to turn them on. That way you can make some posts from your backup and tag yourself, and everybody will realize what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Awesome. Oh yeah, and yeah, congrats on the Flatober thing. And also, are you guys going to the Dallas conference?
I'm going to Dallas.
And I'm not.
I'm flying all over. I'm actually going to San Diego in a week, and so I'm like figuring a bunch of shit out here, and I'm like, you know what? That'd be cool to see everyone over there. Kind of just. Is there? Could you still get tickets?
As far as I know, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I can check right now.
Freaking, yeah, that's been on the back of my mind for a bit, and so I figured I'd ask the source. But all right, I think that addresses. I think that addresses everything. It's just like, wow, man, freaking that Mandela movie thing. Wow, really going for your balls there.
Yeah, man, and that's why I made that video the other night to try and get out ahead of this thing. I knew where this was headed. You know.
Yeah, but I'll let you get on to the next caller. I just wanted to figure all that out real quick.
All right, brother.
All right, later, man.
All right, later. All right, guys, one more call. One more call, and then we'll wrap it up. 978-435-0006. Here's the link for the conference, guys. All the information you need, I guess, is right there. Karen put the link. Karen, what's your on your itinerary when you get at the conference? Are you speaking? Or are you just spectating, helping out?
I'm not speaking. I am just watching.
You're just chilling.
I'm just chilling.
Hey, it might be nice to this point, right? Because you
Yeah, I do have to do one thing. I have to do something with Mark Sargent, but it's nothing major.
Okay. Dose of Reality. You're on with Brian and Karen. Who's this?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, who's this?
This is Jeremy. Jeremy Cox.
What is it?
Jeremy Cox.
Oh, what's up, man?
Not too much, man. How you been?
Good, good. I heard you say the last name Cox. I thought you it was like a joke or something, like a troll, but Jeremy Cox doesn't really sound too fishy. Okay.
It's not a joke.
Go ahead, Jeremy Cox.
Yeah, all right, man. So, how y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good, guys.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, I just wanted to tell you that the Lord, not the Lord, Yah blesses you, and you guys keep it straight, and you'll be all right.
Thank you.
Everything's good.
Thank you.
So, blessings and peace be unto you.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
you later.
much. All right, brother. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Awesome. All right, we can take one more then. 978-435-0006. One more call, and then we'll get out of here, guys. Here we go. Dose of Reality. You're on Brian and Karen. Who's this?
Oh, this is a Lawnmower Man.
The Lawnmower Man?
Hi, Lawnmower Man.
I'm watching your video right now.
Okay, just turn down the volume.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's up?
Oh, my friend Made in Texas sent me your link.
Okay.
So I want to give a shout out to Made in Texas.
All right.
And I was just having a.
You got to turn the volume all the way down, bro. We're getting an echo. All the way.
This is Jeremy. Jeremy Cox. Okay.
Dude.
Is that better?
No, you got to turn it off.
Oh. Okay, I turn it.
Okay, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I got this link from a friend of mine that made in Texas. He's in San Antonio.
Okay.
And I was just curious about about vortexes and the Mandela effect.
Okay, what do you mean by vortexes?
A lot of times I'll have like time vortexes. Like one day, like 1 minute, I'll look at my watch, and it would only seem like a split sec, and it'd be like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, people have talked about that, like a time slip or something. I haven't really had that. I know a lot of people actually think that time is totally sped up consistently, but yeah, no, I haven't really had that myself, but that's interesting.
Well, the thing is that my dad was in air defense, and I was born and raised in El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when you're living out in the desert, you feel things, and then you come to another area, and it's like a completely different vibration. Like you pick up different patterns and everything else. And that was one of the things I've picked up. And when we mentioned about the Mandela effect, it's just one of those moments that you're like, okay, like that other caller you talked about for a split second. I grew up like in the 70s and 80s, and then now it's like you said, we might be in that state of flux. And I'm thinking, okay, the time slips is like is there like some other entity controlling the realities that we were once accustomed to, and then just like warping it to a new reality or consciousness?
I think there's more intervening from both sides. I do think it's a little bit of a tug of war that's going on for our consciousness. I believe that.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know, Karen, what do you think? Do you think there's a evil force at play and a good force at all with this consciousness stuff that's happening? Because I know you believe it has something to do with that. Do you think there's a little tug of war at all? Do you think it's just us and there's no other influence?
Well, I think there's definitely something trying to trick us, something to trying to divert us from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
What that is, I don't know.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because there were also things that were going on. Like I studied bits of astrology.
Yep.
And the signs of the zodiac, and there are times.
Yeah.
I've looked, and I've seen the constellations change. Then they talked about Earth wobbles. Then this past week, I saw the sun, or the sun simulator, on one side, and I saw the moon like facing due north. And I'm thinking, what the F?
The moon's all fucked up, dude.
Then they talked about the other planetary moons showing their atmosphere in the chemtrails. And I'm thinking, all right, what they call crowd control. And I'm thinking, all right, sometimes they screw up and they put the wrong cloud in the wrong area.
Yeah, but you also got to use discernment too. Anytime it's something from NASA, if they're talking, now I agree the moon phases are fucked up and shit like that. That could have to do with reality shifts. But as far as the stuff with like them saying different moons in the atmosphere and all that, that's just them changing their disinformation. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And then then of course the flat Earth. There's a lot of debate between, all right, is the Earth absolutely flat, or is it just a perceptive flat?
Okay, well, what do you mean by absolutely flat? I don't think anybody I know really would
What
say.
would be the difference?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that swear up and down that the Earth is flat, and we're like the center of all the universe, versus those that can take a balloon and say, oh, okay, well, the Earth is flat, there's no curvature. And I'm thinking, NASA was saying, oh, we're a globe. And then I'm like, okay, what about the ancient writings and stuff that depicts Earth different? And I'm like, okay.
Okay, so what do you believe? Because almost all the ancient writings depict along the lines of what a lot of us are talking about, it being a flat plane. And sure, it's not flat like two-dimensional, if that's what you're thinking. I mean, flat meaning it's a flat plane, not a spinning ball, and it doesn't move. And anywhere we can measure, it's level, and we're not going 4 different motions through space. And I do believe we're the center of the universe, and we are very special, and that's why I think it's such a huge lie. And it's about keeping us from that.
Oh.
Because I could give a fuck less if the Earth was flat, a triangle, or a box. The fact is that they're lying about it. And once you start to expose that lie and you start to peel it all apart, you see what their different agendas are. And their agendas are that this place was created for us and that we're special. And there isn't all this endless, godless fucking universe. That's the whole point of it, in my opinion. And there's the control factor. Of course, there's tons of profit going on and all sorts of other shit that goes under it. But, for them to keep control, they need to be the biggest dog on the block. So for them, there can't be a creator. There is no collective consciousness, and we have no soul. I mean, that's it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
I just laid it on this guy thick, Karen. He's like, oh,
hey, yeah, you did.
That was a great explanation.
It's all perceptive reality. Some people can look at things and they look at the glass half full, and some say, oh, it's half empty. It's a perception.
So,
like, do we look at life through the eyes of, okay, a 2-legged person, or are we, sometimes our past life, we were a cat, and then the next time we were a cockroach? It's all perception, and then how we look at ourselves. And then we look ourselves in the mirror and think, okay, I'm one ugly bastard. And then somebody said, oh, you're cute. And I'm like, well, okay, you've been doping too much, come on, get off the vape,
You know what? The only people that still believe we live on a spinning ball, and this might even apply to you, and this isn't a shot at you because we were all in this seat at one time. The only people that still believe we live on a spinning ball is the people that won't look into it objectively. There's no way you can look into it and still believe it. If you actually honestly say, at least set aside a week to say, hey, I'm really going to look at this and try and debunk this flat earth thing. Try it for a week. You might not come to the conclusion that the earth is flat, but you are going to absolutely come to the conclusion that you're not on a spinning ball. All of NASA's imagery is fake. They've never been to the moon. There is no curvature, and mainstream science has a huge agenda to mask our spirituality, tell us we're insignificant pieces of shit, and they obviously want to control us and manipulate us, and they never give us anything real. There's no other conclusion to come to.
You might be right. Look, deep state's been around since the early 1900s. They told a lot of bullshit back then, and people just kind of accepted the bullshit and they were living it. So it's a matter of, okay, perception of control, reality of control versus, all right, I don't personally have a starship, like, okay, I can, somebody can beam me up and I could take selfies above the earth and say, look out, Karen, look out, Brian, here's proof. I've got documents. Somebody were to get a starship and take selfies and photos and then beam them down to your terminal, and they're like, oh, cool. Somebody just proved our flat earth. Boy, everybody in deep state would be all pissed off, like what they did to JFK. They killed him because he tried to change the currency. Okay, big deal. Okay, it's a money thing. Change the money scheme to where, okay, everybody gets rich and we all have Titanics. Okay, big deal, but that's not the way it works. They want us all enslaved and slave the mind, slave the body. Boom, there you go.
And they have our minds totally enslaved. NASA, Disney, all the big media companies, they've had us enslaved since day one. That's why they put the TV in there and made it so cool for everybody to watch. It's totally been programming you since day one.
Oh, my sister-in-law, she's a super Disney freak, and I'll tell you, I was having concerns about, Wi-Fi everything else. And she, oh, you're a tinfoil hat wearer. And I'm like, okay. And you love 2 mice. Big deal. I'm a cat person. All right. Cat eats mice. Duh. You know. But you know, in the whole scheme of things, I think we've all been duped, and it's what we do with it. You know, some people want to blow the whistle and they disappear. Fine. Bracket. My dad was in military air defense. You know, he served his country. I can't. I ain't mad. But you know, people telling me things, and in all reality is people can say all the kind of bullshit they want to say, but okay, prove it or lose it. And I'm like, if you can't prove it, fine. If you can't prove it, ancient writing says it. Okay, why cover it up? But then I was like, oh, well, duh, control the people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, and I, you know, I kind of agree with you both that it's, you know, you're standing out there, and I know Karen's tired. And I saw her sipping that coffee. You know, I like dark roast. You know, you know, like the Starbucks. But
oh, she hates
the whiskey.
Yeah, she fucking hates Starbucks. So now we're not even cool anymore. She's like,
oh, well, anyway, well, I go to HEB and get that Guatemalan, and they got different flavors. You know, you go to HEB here in Texas, and you can just you can get your own beans, get your own bag, grind it up for free. You know, you can just in Starbucks, you got to pay big bucks, but HEB, they have this real extensive coffee section. They got all they got chocolate, they all got flavored coffees, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I used to sit down with Earl Grey tea a lot. I'd be drinking that in my mug. But now, Brian, you know, I just wanted to shout out to Made in Texas. You know, he kind of is a big flat Earth believer, and he's trying to help me understand it. And I'm just trying to like, well, okay, I could agree with him, but I can't be outspoken because I've been watched. I've had Blackhawks. I've had government. My dad was a GS-13, and he was one of the high-level ranks. But you know, there's things that I can't say public because, boom, you know, I could be dead, and that's the kind of level that I respect. That okay, this is federal government. What they want, they get. You know, Democrats are trying to get rid of Trump. Okay, fine. He's a big boy. Trump's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. You know, Pelosi wants to do this and Schiff wants to do that. Fine. You know, it's their game. It's their big money. I'm just a small kitty cat. I just do my thing, go to job, go home, and that's it. You know,
let me interject though. Do you really think if you talked about flat Earth, somebody's going to come do harm to you and pick you up? I don't believe that.
Well, you know, sometimes there could be that one.
That's playing into their trap where we muzzle ourselves. And
nobody's come and hurt me yet.
No.
Well, you know, sometimes I just got to wait for the right opportunity. And that's how deep state FBI wants to play. You know, like if they feel threatened, yeah, they're going to strike.
Opportunity.
You don't sting your finger in a rattlesnake den and expect not to get hit unless you take the antidote. You know, sooner or later we're all going to get bit. We're going to get scratched. You know, there's a cat that likes to jump on tables, and we got to teach it not to do it. Same thing like the government. You know, if nobody is going to stand up and nobody has the balls to say, "Look, you're wrong." Okay, fine, but as long as the government's got everybody snowblowed, you know what I'm saying? They got them all snowed.
Yeah.
Then they can control and they can chemtrail the whole fracking weather pattern. The heart can be at full blast. 5G can be on full blast. They're changing all the light fixtures. They're doing away with all the orange lights. They're now going to that LED bright lights. And there's guys saying that that's supposedly part of the 5G zapper or something, and they got the death towers like that.
Yeah. But you know what? This is gonna sound maybe like an easy cop out, but all that stuff you just mentioned, man, I don't even pay attention to that shit, and it's not even part of my life right now.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
no, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong for it, but I'm just saying the fear of somebody coming to get me or worrying about what they're putting there. It's just like, man, I don't know. It's just I don't feed into it. It's just I don't think about it. It's getting you really worked up, and I think it's really a big part of their matrix that you need to unplug from. But especially, you know, and I get that putting health hazards with the LED lights and the 5G. I get that. I'm not saying there's nothing, you know, it's all candy, right? But it's like,
right.
Nobody's going to come kill you for talking about flat Earth, dude. It's the last thing they want to do is bring attention.
Well, yeah, they'll probably intimidate and get a troll comment. But another thing is those blue LEDs that you're driving down the highway and you get blinded by it. And
yeah.
You tell them that, hey, you got your high beams on, and that's their low beams, you know. But yeah, but you know, my dad worked for high-level security government, and the phones are tapped. You know, Facebook. You know, they shadow banned me. There were some things that I tried to share, and all of a sudden the links get deleted in real time. There's somebody like shadowing me and like blocking me and saying stuff, and I'm standing up for other kinds of other things, but I'm still shadow banned. And there are times that I'll post something and it'll take nearly 2 days before it even clears.
Yeah.
Like I'm secured, like I am what they call shadow watched and shadow fucked with, to the point where I can't breathe on Facebook. So I just stay off of Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go to YouTube and I'll post a couple comments, and then right in the middle of my typing, bam, the algorithm pops and it's gone.
Yeah.
And I'm at a completely different part of YouTube. Like I'll be on this one channel and I'm making a comment, bam, algorithm kicks, the whole thing circles, and I'm back to another part. Like what the F?
Yeah.
So there's things going on that we can't control. Like we're not at the console with all these users and all these channels and say, oh well, let's screw with Lucas, let's screw with Lawnmower Man, let's screw with so and so, and they do all this, and then I've heard stories about that what they call what we're doing, the live conference, where one guy would try to set it all up and then the audio would go out. You know?
Yeah.
So.
But hey, listen, I gotta wind it down.
I know we gotta go, but I just want to thank you for your time, and hey, good work. You know, Karen, good luck there in Dallas. It's bundled up. It's kind of cold right now. The cold snap just came through.
She's sleeping.
Oh,
it's okay. All right.
Anyway, well, all right. Well, Brian, thank you so much for your time, and like I said, shout out to Made in Texas. And if you're listening there, Made in Texas, hey, God bless you, man. I appreciate the link.
All right,
Thank
man.
you. God bless y'all.
Thank you. All right, Karen.
Yes.
You fell asleep on the caller. It was funny. He's like, and Karen, I want to blah, blah, blah. And you didn't say nothing. I'm like, dude, she's sleeping. We're going to go so you can go to bed.
Good night, Karen.
Good night, Karen. And thank you. Awesome show. All right, everybody. We're out of here. I'm going to smoke. Karen's going to bed, but here's the deal. My backup channel, The Real News Online, and if you don't know it, it's linked below in the show notes. It's also on the right-hand side of my channel. The 6-hour stream we did on Zulu's channel. I didn't get to watch it yet. We're going to watch it. I won't make it through the whole thing, but the shit's mad funny. So I'm going to end this stream, and I'll meet you guys over on The Real News Online. Peace out, guys. Make sure you sub Karen B's channel, of course. And that's linked on the right side of my homepage on my channel as well, and in all the show notes. Thanks, everybody.